Hi. Hello. We are live judges. Everyone should be able to hear you right now. Hi.
Hi.
Hello.
Hi, everyone.
Hello. Welcome in, chat. Can I please have a lot of claps, a lot of joy, a lot of hearts, whatever you want to share in chat, just to thank all the judges for being here and making this actually possible. And they're very low. They should be better. They should be better. And like this, really, I am overly excited. As I said to them, as I said to you, I'm overly excited to have to be having this running. I don't know if any of you, chat, have ever seen a Twitch tank, or how is it called? Dragon Alley on TV. I've been watching that for so long, and also not only on TV, also on TikTok. To be honest,
I think it's Dragon Den. Right?
Dragon Den
in the UK. Yeah, I think
there we go. There we go. Dragon Den. Thank you. I've been watching that on TV, but not only. I have to admit that I've been watching also clips from it, illegal clips on TikTok, which is not good. But so shall we start with the presentation? I'm very excited to have here with us Tio. You can see it over here. Tio is the CEO of Ping, which is also the platform that we're using right now to run this beautiful stream. To have, but not only Twitch, like Ping in general is like a company that like creates and builds tools for creators that makes all their work a little bit better. In this case, we're using Ping to like make video calls with a better quality, because can't you see them really in high quality? There we go. That's
yeah. Pardon my quality. I'm currently mitigating a graphics card failure while live, so this is fun.
That's Tio. They're kind of used to having technical difficulties in my chat. They're pretty fine, very fine. Following, we have Ethan, which I'm very happy to have here today. I don't think we have the full time to explain everything that there is in his curriculum and everything that he did in his past. But just letting you know, VIP in Twitch for like more than 7 years. Like if you sum everything, like I think maybe more, like a lot of years. My vice president.
I was 15 years.
15 years.
I was 15 years at Amazon, and 8 years as a vice president at the end.
Insane. And then Ethan retired from Amazon in 2020, is now doing consulting and like doing career consulting for people, 101s and other things. Even more higher volume. All right, sorry, this was burning my ears, but apparently not for chat. Okay, so Ethan, thank you so much for being here today. I appreciate you for taking the time and being here, part of this. Following up, we have Mr. Reap, that I know you've seen them. I know you've seen him already on this stream.
Guys. Hi everybody. Yes, we met for CV review. We met for other things. We are collaborating a lot with Julia, so I'm happy to be here. And I'm Giorgio. I'm Vincent.
I have to think.
Hey, wow, I see. I don't know what's happening.
Awesome. Sorry. I'm having issues. I'm having issues with the alerts that I clearly have to lower. That was destroying my ears. I'm sorry, Sana. Thank you for the 5 gifted. But Rip, I think that you're also a little bit like phrasing stuff from time to time. I don't know.
Yes, I see that I'm experiencing some network problem as usual. But I'm gonna work on it. Do not worry. I'm reducing the playback quality here. Maybe that helps.
The classic RIP internet, yeah.
Yes. I'm sorry. I will try to fix it. I have some.
It's okay, but if it's your first time watching, like seeing Mr. Rip in this stream, just know that he's a software engineer from Italy, but moved to Switzerland. And they have been working for Google for more than 7 years until they decided, yeah, you know what, I know. No. I'm out of here.
I want to retire, but not like Ethan really retired. I'm retiring in progress. I'm trying to do it.
Exactly. Following, we have Tommaso, who, chat, I would love you if you give a lot of thanks, a lot of love in chat for Tommaso, who actually helped me out to run this whole thing. He's been the one helping me to like put all these people together and also like to contact all the startups. So thank you, Tommaso, for this. And really, really.
Thank you for hosting us.
Oh, of course. But just letting you know, chat, Tommaso is a growth marketer, if that's how I can describe your role. Especially for startups. He's working right now for software. Who is it's like a web like a way that you can create web apps without coding in like very small time by using like Google Sheets or Airtable. But
pretty much.
Thank you, everyone, like for real, for being here and being part of this and taking your time for also helping the people that are like creating their own startups and like to give them feedbacks and to, you know, help them out to understand if they're on the right path. So, chat, what is gonna happen now? We're gonna be introducing you to 4 startups. Each startup has 5 minutes to have their own pitch. We will shut up. We will shut up entirely. They have their own time. They will introduce what they're doing, what is their startup about, and then we're gonna have around 15 minutes where we're gonna be talking about like asking questions and asking what clarification on their own project. And right after, we're gonna be giving our feedbacks, and we're gonna also allow questions from chat, of course. So if you have any good questions, I'll be your eyes, I'll be your voice, chat. So whatever you have, just type it in chat and I'll be watching that. Is everything clear for you, chat? I will need a people okay to say that we are all good in chat, that we're all clear, that we are. Oh yeah, okay.
And we should also mention that chat gets to vote as well.
Oh,
right?
of course.
Yeah, we are doing it a bit as a joke, but also to recognize the startup that convinces the most, that has the better pitch, what we believe is maybe the best idea, even though that's hard to assess. So each of the judges will cast a vote, but also chat will. Your vote will count as much as ours. That's debatable, but that's how the democracy works. So there will probably be a poll at the end of each Q&A session for you to cast your vote.
Ethan, thank you for the prime. But yeah, no, it's you.
Of course.
I mean, appreciate you.
I built it. I have to use it.
Fair. Makes sense to me. But chat, if you're all okay, we can start, and you're gonna get to vote. I guess we're gonna have a poll in chat later, so where everyone can vote. Am I right, Tom? Am I forgetting something?
Yes. Yeah, sure. You can do it this way.
Okay, judges, if it's all right for you, we can start with the very first startup. Is anything that I'm missing from your side? No. All right. So for
Let's go.
Okay. Let me add them. I will be doing this faster next time. I just have to get used to this.
All right, maybe in the meantime, I can do a short introduction. So the next founder to speak will be Joy. She is going to be talking about Go Healthy, which is therapy in your pocket. That's their tagline. And yeah, so we're going to be listening how they plan to improve mental health for individuals, and I think also for individuals inside companies. Also let's show some support to Joy, especially because she's the first one to present today. I believe that all the founders today will be Italian. That says something about the English-speaking community in Giulia's chat. Very shy.
Yeah.
But I'm sure that after this episode, more will want to join from all over the world.
I hope so. I really hope so. This could be like a very good opportunity. Anyway, chat, let's all say hi to Joy, and please, let's be nice. First time, first startup, let's all be nice. Hi, Joy. You are live.
Hi everybody. Can you hear me well?
Yes, very loud and clear. How are you doing?
Okay, that's good. That's cool. A little bit anxious, but I'm really excited about this possibility of receiving your feedbacks about my project. So it's cool. It's cool. I'm looking forward.
I just have one question for like a settings thing, like screen sharing.
I sent you a custom link for the screen share. That's what it's about. Yep. Check your DMs on Discord.
You're way ahead. You're already ahead. Thank you for that.
Yep. By about 10 minutes, judging by timestamps.
Okay.
Maybe in the future. All right, I'll prepare my stopwatch. So, Joy, as soon as everything is ready and Julia gives us the green light, we'll have 5 minutes. If you finish earlier, that's great. If it starts taking too long, I'll probably give you a signal to cut it off.
If you want, we also have the timer on the stream. You know?
Oh, perfect.
Anyway. We should see everything. Okay. Tell me whenever you're ready and I'll screen share.
I'm ready.
All right. Should be this one? It's this one. There we go. And you have 5 minutes from now.
Okay, perfect. So, hi everybody, I'm Joy and I'm here to present you Go Healthy, AI therapy in your pocket. Do you know that poor mental health conditions cost 2.5 trillion each year worldwide? Yeah, the situation is clear because there are 3 billion of people willing to improve their mental well-being or suffering from mental illness, and 90% of them don't receive support. And a recent report from WHO stated that the mental health industry average return of interest is equal to 5 to 1. So why is it so difficult to keep people caring for their mental health? Well, because therapies are long and thus expensive and thus inefficient. And the mental health care system is outdated. There is poor data collection and leading to misdiagnosis, and there are no tools to engage the patients. And that's why Go Healthy solution enhances therapeutic alliance between therapists and patients. Therapeutic alliance is a predictor of positive clinical change and improvement of the patient. In detail, our solution is a two-folded app. The first app is a dashboard for mental health professionals. The dashboard shows analytics and information about the patient's data collected by the solution, the app for the mobile app for the user or patient. And in detail, our dashboard shows visual summary of patient's data. As I said, it provides analysis and also predictions about the dropout of the therapies or about the relapse or crisis in order to suggest the more efficient therapies and thus reduce the dropout. And the dashboard is synchronized with the self-help tool. The self-help tool is a Duolingo for mental health. So it is a digitalization of psychological exercises and surveys from literature, from mental health manuals in order to collect patient or user data, and provides gamified and digitalized psychological exercise and analysis and progress to create healthier habits. The market is growing. The digital health market is booming. Now, in 2022, the size was about 200 billion, and the growth rate evaluation is about 20% from 2023 to 2030, because actually under 35 people, people are used to go to mental health therapies. We analyzed our competitors and national levels, and yes, there are a lot of companies in the field, but they are trying to solve the problem in a different way, because or they are self-help tools, so they only collect information about the patients without providing this information to mental health professionals. So the therapeutic alliance is not boosted, and also they suffer from high customer acquisition costs. And on the other hand, there are other platforms like online platforms in which you log in, match with a therapist, and then start to do therapy online on the platform. They do not collect information about the patients, and they also suffer from high retain costs. Consider then one of these online platforms co-founders told that they spend €7 per click on Instagram. So this is a very high customer acquisition cost. And with our solution, they can totally reduce not only the customer acquisition cost, because the trust toward mental health is boosted, but also reduce the customer retain cost, because the therapeutic alliance is enhanced. So the business model is quite simple. And it's based on the sale of the two apps. The dashboard is sold to mental health professionals, clinics, and health insurances and universities with a monthly fee per patient, while the self-help tool is sold to people in need with a freemium and premium membership. These are our financial projections, and as you can see, we have two revenue streams: the B2B and the B2C. The B2B represents the main income, and you can see that it's enough to have almost 700 therapies using actively the app, and so 700 subscriptions to the dashboards in order to have a revenue of 700K. The team has the expertise to bring forward this project. I'm an expert in machine learning and bioinformatics. I also work in a Lugano in a living lab, which is a lab to improve cities innovation. And my complementary co-founder is Laura Marciano, who is a psychologist and also a postdoc fellow at Harvard University. We have a very well-connected advisor, which is Michele Maisetti, director of Italian Associations of Psychologists, and we also have 10 volunteers with different backgrounds helping us in development, software development or business analysis, but also social management and graphic designs.
All right, Joy, we're out of time, so if you could cut it short.
Okay, our implementation roadmap started in 2022, and we incorporated the startup here in Lugano. We ran a non-clinical trial to validate the mobile app digitalization of the psychological exercise. And this is our call for actions. We're going to close the round in late 2023, and the aims are to create new assets and get new customers. So thank you for your attention, and remember, go healthy or go home.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Joy. Thank you very much. All right. So, judges.
I guess I can do the honors since I was the one that invited everyone here and break the ice.
I would love to, please.
I like the pitch and the energy that you had. Especially the opening, I found it quite strong. You talk clearly about the market, which is huge. It's a very relevant topic, very important. So I think that part was great. The thing that doesn't come across very clearly to me is also who your customer is. Like looking at your slides quickly at the beginning, I would have thought, okay, you're offering B2C therapy services and then also offering it to companies as a B2B service. While what you're doing is basically helping therapists provide a better service to their clients, right? With the B2B offer, correct?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, so I think a claim like that would help also clarify exactly what you do. Then there is a whole discussion about whether that's the right direction. I feel like you would be going against the centralization of products, which usually tends to happen in these markets. And that's why companies like Uno Bravo in Italy or BetterHelp, even though BetterHelp now is very controversial, which is another topic, but are winning because they all have the therapist inside their platform. It's harder for a therapist to gain critical mass to justify maybe building their own platform or even using something like yours. So I don't know. It's a discussion to be had, but I'll leave the floor to the other judges for now.
Well, I'll jump in real quick and say, look, you actually did a pretty good standard VC pitch deck. Like all of the elements were there, the team, the market size, the product, the roadmap, like congratulations. And I bring that up because a lot of people miss that. Their decks are horror shows of missing information, and yours wasn't. So maybe that feels like a low bar, but it actually isn't. My main question, I think Tommaso had a pretty good question. I think another good question is, what is your sustainable differentiation? I couldn't tell if you felt it was the AI assistant or the automation of things on behalf of therapists. You know, the question any VC is going to have is, what is going to be sustainable about what you're going to do differently, particularly because we have to imagine that there were 10 other people with the idea of, oh, I'll make an AI mental health assistant. So how are you going to be different, or what can you sustain, would be what I think will be critical to get attention long term.
Okay, very good questions. Thank you. And first of all, our business model is the key point. We started thinking, as you say, Tommaso, to target individuals, mental health professionals, but by talking with them and interviewing them, we understood that it was too difficult for them to use these platforms, and that's why we try to approach mental health online therapist platforms. I created an event last weekend with Serenis, and I'm organizing another event with hopefully with Uno Bravo, because they told me they spend €7 per click on Instagram. Okay, this is a huge customer acquisition cost. They want to reduce it. They cannot spend time or resources in R&D or technical implementation, because if they stop investing in marketing, they will lose part of their patients. So this is the first selling point. We are gonna help online therapy platforms like Uno Bravo, BetterHelp, who suffers a lot from these problems, to reduce to reduce the dropout by enhancing the therapeutic alliance. How do we do that? With science. We validate from the scientific point of view our product. We already validated with a non-clinical trial the mobile application in collaboration with universities here in Switzerland. We had more than 300 participants to the non-clinical trial. And yes, I think that also a science-based methodology could help also to approach with a competitive advantage also other platforms. And the third thing is the technical implementation, and a recommender system model, which is gonna recommend to the therapist, not to the patients, to the therapists, the most efficient therapies, the most efficient also psychological exercises, in order to make therapies itself more efficient, more effective. So these are our three main selling propositions.
I'd love to jump in a bit. I fully agree pretty much everything everyone said so far. My big outlying concern is that it feels like this is skewing much more towards science research project and not focused product. The big missing piece for me, and you actually touched on it a bit there, is what is the big problem you solve when you're pre-product, especially when you're pre-market. I think it's really important to have one core problem that your product solves. We're using Ping right now, which happens to be a product I built. We solved the problem of it was too hard for streamers to do high quality live collaborations. We built a tool that just does that. What is the one thing, the focus, the thing that your product solves that no one else does? Because right now it kind of sounds like it's acquisition cost for therapists getting new patients. Is that it, or is there something else that you're focused on solving?
Okay, in general, as I said, is the therapeutic alliance, which is from literature and also from other trials, predictor of positive clinical change and improvement of the patients. So the therapeutic alliance, which is the trust, the availability of the data, which is the open mind mentality, which is based on the mutual appreciation, is also built with sufficient data and also by knowing the patient. So we are gonna provide a dashboard to the therapists, to the mental health professionals, to know better and faster and easier their patients, so that the customer acquisition cost is reduced, because they won't spend 5 therapy sessions in order to convince a patient to continue the therapy journey. They will, I don't know, it will cost I don't know, two sessions or so on, and we are gonna do this and validate it with also clinical trial. So we don't consider us as a scientific science center startup, but we use the science to validate and also empower our mission.
So if I'm understanding correct, it's your goal to reduce the churn from when somebody starts with a new therapist to when they like sign on fully. Is there a notable problem? Somebody does 2 therapy sessions and then they drop off from that therapist and look for another?
Yeah. The
And
majority
that's
of
what
the
you're focused on solving.
What? Sorry.
And that's the thing that you're focused on solving?
I'm trying to solve this, yes, as a customer acquisition cost, yes. Consider that.
I would almost open with that, like, if you could get the number of like what percentage of patients looking for therapy talk to multiple therapists and give up after the second. If you have like a number like 70% of patients give up after their second therapy session, only 15% of patients who use our product give up. Like that type of number, like a strict comparison of like how big is the problem and how small do you make the problem?
Okay.
Yeah. Even though I would be careful with that. I mean, personally, as someone that went through the therapy journey, for me, it is important to go through multiple therapists and see different approaches. Even what you were saying before about suggesting different approaches to the therapist, from my little understanding, that's not necessarily how it works. Each therapist might have a different approach that they are specialized in. They cannot really jump from one to the other. And I think it's good for the final user to have multiple options, right? So as long as it is, they don't drop off anymore from the therapy funnel, then okay. I wouldn't find it good for the world just to say, you started with this therapist, you're more likely to stuck with him or with her just because there is this product, not because it's the right therapist for you. But just as a side note.
Okay, I get this point. And this is quite trivial because, I mean, at the same time, for example, one of these online therapy platforms told us that since they give for free the first therapy session, they experienced that some of patients try to jump from one therapy to a therapist to another more than 5 times in order to get the free therapy session. So it's not very easy to solve this problem, but yeah, I get your point. And in general, for the suggestion of the therapies, for the therapies to the mental health professionals, well, this is useful because the majority of the times, yes, since therapists get new patients, usually also from the words of mouth, knowing that a therapy approach could improve your patient, even though you're not actually capable to help him, could help you to lead him to the correct and most suitable therapist.
I have a question. How do you plan to reach critical mass? Because the problem of this kind of platforms is to have enough people that people start coming just because there are enough people. What's your strategy there?
Okay, yes, I'm gonna approach mainly, as I said, online therapy platforms, and we, as I showed, for us, it's enough to have 700 therapists, 700 dashboard subscriptions in order to have almost 1 million of revenue. And for example, we need almost 3,000 of dashboard subscriptions in order to break even. And actually, the two mental health online therapy platforms that we targeted collectively have 3,000 of therapists. So we are gonna approach B2B market with a multiplier approach. We have connection with the Council of Mental Health Professionals here in Ticino, but also in Lombardy. So we are partnering with them in order to pre-sell the product.
I'm a bit concerned about this targeting of the online therapy companies. So for different reasons. The first one is you mentioned, okay, if we close 700 of these platforms or like these final users, we get to 1 million ARR. I guess it's ARR. Correct me if I'm wrong. That's not a lot. If I invest in your company, it needs to be worth potentially at least 200, 300 million. You're not going to get there with 1 million ARR. And also, as we were saying before, this industry is probably going to consolidate. So you're going to have 5 key players, maybe one in the US, one in South America, one in Europe. They are going to be able to build this themselves. Like the platform risk that you're running by counting on just a few potential customers for your business, I think it's too high. So I think that it's either a short-term play where you're like, let's try to get acquired by one of these. We do a acqui-hire and they get us because of our expertise. Or this is by itself is not going to be, I think, a big enough startup and they're just going to copy what you do and build it themselves. And also there is no loop, right? There is no way for you to sustain that growth other than having a sales team that just calls these platforms and get them on board. What would be really nice to see is a way to fuel your business toward with your business model. But
yeah, very good question. And the first one, we have 2 plans. The first plan, get acquired by these companies. The second plan is continuing and getting the medical device certification, which states that our product is equal to the output of our product is equal to the output of mental health professionals, and we are trying also to understand how to go ahead with move forward with this option. Even though we saw some other competitors in the US bankrupted because of this, so we are trying to. I mean, we're gonna be very adaptive to what our customers want, actually.
So I do think it's good that you're trying to not have a high burn rate, but I think it's unrealistic that you're going to build and sustain something against competition without needing more people involved somehow, either to spend more on marketing or spend more on technology or spend more on sales. We don't have time to audit your financials, nor do we have a copy of them, but it seems very difficult to build something really unique and sustainable in a space that, again, your worry should be that there are 10 other people doing this same thing right now that just you haven't seen them yet, because it's using AI for therapy as a basic idea. Even though all the comments in chat talk about regulation, it's totally going to happen. And all people will do if there's regulation is they'll go around it and say, oh, this isn't therapy. We have an AI advice bot, and it gives non-binding, non-clinical advice, but otherwise it'll be identical. And that's how they'll scale, is say, use our advice bot, and they'll go right around the regulation. And if they have to, they'll host themselves in the Cayman Islands because that gets them around everybody's regulation or wherever. So just be thinking, in the end, Twitch is a game platform. Ask a few of the gamers, what are the ways to exploit my business model? That's actually the place where Twitch is the strongest, is ask them, what are all the ways that my competition will cheat me? Okay. And then they will give you all the holes.
Okay, very good questions. Yeah, actually, I think that my answer to this won't be. I mean, I want to also have the more sources on this question, because actually I'm trying to figure it out. I'm trying to approach Brown without risking them to copy my product. So yeah,
the great thing is the people on Twitch aren't probably going to copy your idea, but they can tell you all the ways they would go around it or exploit it or use it, and that's where when I designed products for Twitch, I simply asked Twitch users how they were going to abuse what I built, and they were fantastic at saying like, yeah, there's so many loopholes, let us because that's what gamers do, right? They look for the cheat code. So ask them what the cheat code to your idea is.
I'll resist the urge to make a joke about bits existing.
Bits is still there though, it works, right? So,
yeah, it's one of the biggest fraud drivers of all time, but yeah.
There is one sentence from Ethan that I actually reuse often. I never claim that it's mine, but you told me once, if you worry too much about how people are going to game your system, then you're never going to ship anything. I think we can also readapt it to say, if you're worried that Uno Bravo is going to copy your idea by you talking to them and they're going to do it, then that's not a big enough idea. That's not a strong enough product. And I think you need to think about this. Because that's the biggest issue I see. If they can copy it easily, then it's not the right product, I think. But you have way more context than we do, so.
Ideas are cheap. That's like the thing I push whenever I can. Like, if the idea is your edge, you've already lost.
Ideas are cheap, I think, is one of the best quote that I could get out of this. And I really like it. And Joy, if you don't mind, I have a couple of questions from chat. Some of them were already gone through by our judges. And there were mostly, as Ethan also said, that we had a lot about like regulations, so GDPR and like everything that like takes us a little bit closer to Her. I don't know if you have ever saw that series or movie.
Yeah.
I don't remember which one was it.
Yeah.
But apart, like going away from this, which is gonna bring us a little bit into the, I think, scary side of the AI. There is a question by Rico in chat asking, how do you, like, it has like a product itself question. How do you make sure that the help is given by the AI is a good advice? So how are you going to be checking if what it's given, like how are you going to check the quality of what it's giving out?
Okay, in mental health, there are standards for clinical trials. We copied actually from some other competitors in the US. They actually created non-clinical trials in which they tested. They split the samples into subsamples, control and experimental. The experimental groups received psychological assessments, which are surveys about the emotional state, mental health states, and so on. And the experimental groups received support and content from the app that you implemented. And you're gonna test with on the two groups with psychological assessments from mental health manuals, their mental health status. So you're gonna check their values of anxiety or depression or mental well-being or positive attitudes and so on.
All right.
Thank you for answering. I guess we got all our questions asked. Otherwise, unless like you judges have any other last questions, I think that for you, Joy, we've been very like free with the time. Next time, I promise, chat also to you, I'll be checking more on time. But this was the first.
But I think we're good. So what I was also saying in chat, it's 5 minutes for the pitch, then 25 minutes for the Q&A session, and 5 minutes for feedback. I think we mixed a lot of feedback with also the questions. So for me to start off the feedback, I'm not gonna add much. Just gonna state again, really validate if that's the way you want to go at your business. If you see a problem with CAC, there might be ways to gain the cost per acquisition. So when I first saw your slides, I thought that you were building this like psychological journaling app for B2C, and then you were also selling a B2B subscription. That might not be a bad idea, because if you have a simpler product that you can get for free to people and they can use it, your CAC might be lower, especially if you find nice ways of distributing the idea. And then those people can be your way into companies and say, hey, would you like your company to pay for this? And then you can start closing B2B contracts, for example. Companies like Uno Bravo and Serenis and BetterHelp, I'm sure they're going to do it, but they're going to approach it from, you start your therapy, which is expensive, and they might have those high CAC costs. Maybe this is a better way, and you build this loop that we were talking about before. And there are 500 other ideas on how to build a bigger moat around your business. So I'll think about that. And also one other small thing, I would remove the break-even comment on the slide. I don't think any investor you'll talk to will actually believe that you will break even in 3 years. And they don't even want it. I don't want your company to break even in 3 years. Again, I want your company in 10 years or 7 years, if I want to return my fund faster, to be worth 200, 300 plus millions. And you're not going to get there if you're going to break even. You're going to get there if you're going to invest as much money as possible to fill the gap of competition that exists.
Okay, thank you. Thank you again, everybody.
Thank you very much for being part of this.
I think there is still some feedback from the other judges as well. But,
yeah, sure.
I'll make mine quick. I'm still, I heard your answers. I'm still concerned about your sustainable differentiation. I think picking one thing to do really well. I believe there is a market for what you're doing, and I do believe there is a way to help individual therapists who don't want to be consolidated under a platform, who want to be independent. Figuring out how to make your platform the go-to place for independent therapists, for example, might differentiate you and give you word of mouth marketing where people see what each other are using. So I think there's lots of plays to be made here. You have to pick one though and figure out how to defend it.
Okay. Yes. It can be helpful for sure.
I generally like the product. I like the focus on the B2C aspects. I would have loved to see more attention to the I like the B2B approach. I would like to see more B2C focus, so something more directed to the final customers. So that's something that I have not seen where like the freemium approach, what are the advantages or the benefits, but there's no time to discuss this.
Yeah, no, we did it on purpose. And my question is for you. Why would you prefer B2C approach over to B2B approach?
No, I don't prefer. I just would have loved to see what's your plan to how to like attract customers and like not just therapists but also individuals, and what are the benefits, the plus, the perks. I'm missing the part of the picture.
Yeah, we did it on purpose anyway, because we are targeting mainly at the beginning patients. So patients of the therapies who are gonna refer each other the mobile app / dashboard.
Okay, thanks.
Do we have any final feedbacks for Joy and Go Healthy? No? All right, then, Joy, it was lovely having you here. I'm gonna move all of us to the judging situation where we should
launch the poll.
Exactly. That's what I was trying to do. But for graphic situation, I have Joy to move. I need Joy to move so that we have space for the poll. Otherwise, I don't know what to do. But Joy, it was lovely having you here. I'm gonna have the judges voting, and then we will let you know how. Also, what chat also decide to vote for you.
Okay. Am I supposed to leave the?
No. Yes, but I'm also gonna move us, so don't worry about it.
Okay.
Thank you for being here.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you very much.
Bye. All right.
If it makes it easier, I don't think we need to share the vote of the judges on stream.
We can do it at the very end. Yes, for sure. That's what I was thinking about. We can have the secret vote. That would be really interesting to have. Chat, you will know about it later. You will know all of it. In the next future, you will not know. It's I don't. By the way, chat, something that maybe we didn't talk, we didn't say during the whole presentation. Also for our judges, Theo and Ethan Evans, you maybe heard about Uno Bravo. You kept hearing about Uno Bravo. It's a platform that we have right now in Italy where you can get therapy by online. Just you have, instead of like going to the office, you just join there, like you join a video call, and you get to have the therapy from there. Easy as that.
It's basically BetterHelp in the US, but for the Italian market, and without privacy-related scandals. So,
for now,
at least so far, there is time. Exactly. Allegedly.
I hope they won't, because it's actually the one that I'm using for my therapy sessions. So please let not have any type of scandals. That would be lovely.
Data leak.
Yeah, data. Oh, please. I mean, they will not get too much from me. But anyway, chat. You can now vote. I'll give you maybe 1 minute or two. So like in the meantime, judges can maybe discuss about like the startup, how they felt about it, like without the person here, so they can gossip a little bit more and be a bit more mean, or like if they didn't share anything, they can give their own feedbacks now that the person is not here. So you have the time to vote, and I have the time to fix the cams for the next.
You're not right. Joy is still right here. She's just not on the screen.
Not
that we need to talk about Joy behind her back.
Sorry.
I'll say anything to your face, I'll say behind you.
Never mind.
Okay, then I leave.
What kind of poll systems are you using, Julia?
It's Paul Mappe. I could actually change the settings also.
That's nice.
But I don't like the graphic that there is right now. It doesn't fit I'm a pain for these things. I'm sorry. I usually like have to everything like aligned. I didn't think about the poll, and I don't like that it's this color, this design, is everything. And I'm gonna fix it for the next one. You're gonna have to spare me for the first.
She's a serious streamer, not like you, Giorgio.
Look at Giorgio. He has lights now in the background. Yeah, look at that. It's a lot of improvement, I would say.
Well, since like 1 year and a half, but that's okay. Because we usually stream together during day, so at daytime, so you don't see that.
But how did you feel about this startup? The very first one. How did you feel about, like, in general, not like the actual startup, or like
I'm getting bored of seeing that every startup is a matchmaking of the Uber of X still in 2023. Every startup is the Uber of X.
Because the next startup is in chat. Next startup is in chat, so I hope they're not having anything like that.
But they're quickly removing the word Uber from their deck. They're going to say they're the Lyft.
Exactly.
People search for tomatoes, and we have like tomato farmers, and then there is an app that can put like I think if you make a meta app of a matchmaker, which is more efficient, you win. Like you can sell this to every other startup.
You describe software that is being used by a lot of people to build marketplaces.
Cool. Yes. Great idea. Shut up and take my money.
I feel like we're seeing more and more companies that are being built around like what VC wants rather than what users want. And a lot of the pitch decks I've been seeing lately feel like they're that. It's less about how we solve a specific problem people have and more about here are all the different potentials for exponential growth. And here's how many places we could sneak AI into our slides. And that's just like a general market trend.
And
that wasn't this deck though, I don't think.
No, it wasn't, but it had flavors of that, which was my concern.
It smelled like AI could send you the perfect questionnaire or the perfect exercise.
That part, it had the we're going to use AI to save the world thing, like and make money, save the world and make money. AI is gonna,
But it's the meta, right? You kind of need to play along if you want to maximize.
But
sometimes.
It's still the meta since Silicon Valley sitcom came out. I mean, it's 10 years. Okay.
No, but
I raised very out of meta. Like I raised for a creator, like a creator economy, quote unquote, startup 3 years after that was out of vogue. I didn't even have a pitch deck, and we didn't have too many problems. Like, to be fair, we got into Y Combinator, but we were able to convince Y Combinator. I think going against the grain is as valuable as following the trends, if not more so.
Yeah, no, sure. And I think the next startup is going to be interesting. I start the introduction because they have AI in the name, but they're also working in the creator economy. So we're gonna
Cool.
we're gonna see
Nice.
a very perfectly timed intersection between the two things we were talking about. So yeah, we can welcome. I actually not sure how to say this, so I'm just gonna say Paolo, that will introduce.
but we don't know where to start. So we start searching for talent agencies in the country or countries we want to sponsor, contact them, wait for a reply, get the list of potential streamers, try to understand the data we got back, or make 2 to 3 video calls to have everything clear. Have someone monitor the streamers we think are the best suited for our goal. Check that they do not have a toxic chat, or they are not bad behaving themselves. Finalize our choice and start the campaign. We need to set up all the trackings to see if our campaign is going well. We get back our reach and impressions, figure out some conversions, and that's pretty much it. This whole process takes, on average, months for each agency. And in a fast world, as we live in right now, months is way too long. Any competitor could launch their product faster than us because they already know the market or are in contact with talent agencies that can provide them the service. So now let's see instead how the process would go using React. We create our company account on the platform, subscribe to the service, describe our marketing campaign in detail to the chatbot, get back the list of the top streamers that fit our campaign, analyze them directly in the platform using a simple user interface where everything is explained, and select the ones we think are the best. We just brought down the whole pre-agency mess from months to just days, if not hours. But then we will still need to get in touch with the agency, ask any further questions, get a quotation, sign the contract, and do all the boring stuff. That still takes some time, and we don't want bottlenecks. And this is why React will allow agencies to create AI-powered marketing agents trained on their company and streamers' data that will take care of the interaction with the brand, allowing a 24/7 uptime for the agency, whose only burden will be to send the contract to get it signed back from the company. Everything that I've just said is and will be possible thanks to our team, composed of skilled marketers, developers, and researchers that have one thing in common: a huge passion for video games and the streaming world. In July, we will release our beta to the brands that are in contact with us, with the goal of releasing the platform to the public for September 2023. As soon as the Q1 of next year, we want to release the marketing agents feature for agencies labeled here as React version 2. Thank you for listening. I welcome you to join the AI revolution of the streaming world with us. And everything that I've just said was created by an AI.
Oh, wow.
Right.
Oh, wow.
So 3 seconds left on the clock. I think that was pretty, at least my clock. So it was pretty accurate timing.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
Good job on that for sure.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Thanks, GPT.
10 out of 10 on sticking to time. Well done.
Thank you.
Good job.
I practice a lot.
Well, then...
God, I have so many thoughts.
You have so many?
Yeah.
I saw chat was very, very heated up for this presentation. Chat was like asking a lot of questions. Chat like wants to know more about it. And
I think this is Theo's playground, so
oh yeah,
I've not completely understood the business model actually.
Yeah. If you give me a second, I will be adding Paolo's friend. Paolo Collega, exactly. I will be adding him and should be showing up right now. There we go. In a very bad way, but I'll fix it, I promise. There we go. We do not hear you though. I think that maybe you have not selected. Oh, we got to the I cannot hear you problem. There we go. We were missing this.
I think that is just muted.
Well, Marcel is muted,
Oh.
so
No.
He might have a mic selected.
There we
is the
go.
reason.
Oh yeah. No mic selected.
regardless,
Bottom
Theo,
left, there
ask
should be a
your
microphone
question.
button with an arrow next to it. You gotta pick a mic.
I told him to follow the instructions, but he didn't.
There he is.
Okay, sorry. I was kind of scared to talk because I didn't know what to do. But nice to meet you all.
Good to meet you.
Nice to have you. So, would you?
I should go first or
Yeah.
last. We'll let y'all pick.
Go, Theo. Lead us off. Hit it hard.
Yeah.
Okay. I loved it until you lost the plot about 2/3 of the way through. I think you had a very compelling, straightforward product pitch of it's too hard for brands to understand which streamers bring value. We are using and building tools to make it the value. And then suddenly it becomes about AI-powered marketing chatbots. Like that felt like a M. Night Shyamalan twist in a pitch deck, which is never a good thing. And it sucks because up until that point, I felt like you're telling a very compelling story, in particular with the amount of uncertainty in the decisions that these brands are making. And I think you have a really strong angle leaning into that. I also had a bit of a concern around like the size of the team for something so early and the rigidity of the like roadmap. It felt like that was I don't know how to put other than what I often say is cosplaying as a company, where you're doing the things that you feel are necessary for a company to be more legit, but your company is legit. You have a real problem and you're building a real solution to it. I think it's so important to focus really hard on that specifically, and also who is building it. I think that was the biggest missing piece for me is, who are y'all? Why should I trust you guys to build this and not one of the dozens of other companies that are building stuff in the space? Like, I'm sure you guys know a lot about streaming. I mean, if you're showing up at Twitch Tank with this pile of goons, myself included, clearly you're deep enough in the meta to have an angle there. Well, when I pitched to Ping to Y Combinator, being an ex-Twitch staff helped, but being really deeply intertwined in the space, like watching a lot of streams, being part of the community, doing this every day, that's what got me in. So the big two things are focus in on the thing that makes the most sense and tell the story of who's here and why and what makes y'all special. You told the story of the problem really well and how you can solve the problem, but it didn't tell me enough about y'all, and it tangented a little too far away at a point.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, I think Theo said most of the things I wanted to say. Like, one of the notes I took is, why DI agent? I didn't really get the point of it. I 100% agree you're solving a huge issue that I'm living in first person as a myself right now. Like, I need to, and I want to find influencers to sponsor, to promote my product. And it is hard to source correctly through the influencers. Why Twitch though? Like, I know we have two people that used to work for Twitch and two other people that are almost streamer as a full say as main income. So I'm going a bit against the tide, but Twitch revenues are like 1/10 of YouTube. And I'm pretty sure that a similar magnitude is the difference on ad spend on YouTube versus Twitch. So why start there? Like, why focus so much on Twitch and not mention YouTube on your pitch or Instagram?
I will say for sponsor deals, the difference isn't anywhere near as big in terms of like viewership to like acquisition costs. Like you can make just as much money doing a sponsored stream on any platform, and it's fine there. So just like from my knowledge, yes, ad spend is very different, but sponsor spend isn't anywhere near as big a gap.
Are you sure it's not even 10 times different? Like in my experience, ads on Twitch, like ad spend on Twitch, ROI is awful. I convert way more for
ads, absolutely. Ads on Twitch is a total nightmare. I've done a bunch of content about this. Like the story for ads on Twitch is more tragedy than a story. Sponsors are a very different thing. And for like targeted, planned, like embedded sponsored content, the story is much happier.
Okay. Yeah. Maybe if you also have data about this, it would be here.
Yeah, I do agree with Theo, and the fact that we are starting with Twitch is because the company that is behind Reax, which is called Player Self Labs, is a software house that is developing several products inside the video gaming entertainment industry. And we started with Twitch because we already have a product on Twitch that works on Twitch, and we already retrieve data in real time from Twitch, such as many statistics. We calculate scores for streamers, we get all the comments and analyze them. So Twitch was for us the first platform to land React on for all those reasons, and also for all the contacts that we have for brands and agencies that work in this kind of ecosystem. So of course in the future the goal is to expand to other platforms such as YouTube and Kik and whatever. But we started with Twitch because the sponsorship deals for the streamers that the agency make are actually not as bad as someone may think. While as Theo said before, and the ads, of course, are way worse. But we do not focus on those kind of advertisement, but instead the during the live ad or the adding of the embedding and so on. So that's our main focus, to help brands. And I really got your feedback that you said before, and I think that it's completely true. And I think that what we wanted to do with this kind of pitch is Reacts. If I can give you a little bit of story, it started for as a tool for streamers instead of being a tool for brands. So we wanted to give more insights for the streamers, to let them know how their content is doing, how the people are reacting for their content, which game should I play on stream, and so on and so forth. But then speaking with brands and agencies, we felt that there was urge from a B2B side, you can say it, and so we flipped the order of the entrance of all these actors inside Reacts. So while at the start it was streamers, then agencies, and then brands, we flipped it and we started with brands and then connected with the AI marketing agents for the agencies, and then we'll connect it to the streamers last. So this connection, and we felt to put it in because we didn't want to leave the question of, well, I still need to talk with the agency and get in contact with the agency to do so. And so we didn't want to leave that question unanswered in the pitch. And so we focus a little bit more on this instead of talking about the team, which is completely fine. And thanks for the feedback.
Very good response. I would workshop the first half a tiny bit, because you had a really compelling piece in there, and I feel like you didn't I feel like centering around it would be valuable. Of, you have experience building tools in the Twitch space. You've been building in it for a while. You notice there's this thing missing in the space that you want to build. You have a team that's ready to be creator on Twitch, has some presence other places. You're following the creators you work with and building the tools for the platform, knowing that will bring you to the best place.
Yeah. At the first part of your answer to the slides, I think it was the perfect answer to my question. Why Twitch? Because we have a competitive advantage there. You mentioned it kind of at the beginning. I think you could make it a slide.
Okay.
Sorry, I'm having, sorry to cut it and to interrupt. I think that we're experiencing some issues in terms of like tech. I don't know if it's like everyone's.
I think it's my end.
It's either your, but I also heard Paolo a little bit cutting, so maybe.
Should I remove the presentation?
Yeah, that you can remove it if you want to. I don't think that, unless like any judge has a specific question regarding the presentation. All right. Yeah.
No, we don't need it.
We can start by removing it. Yeah. Thank you. Moving on. Sorry for interrupting.
So, I think you have a real opportunity. No one has solved the problem of sponsorships at scale. So if that's if you make that your problem statement, solving sponsorship at scale, the top streamers are bombarded with sponsorship opportunities because they're the names that people know to go to, and they're overwhelmed and their prices are very high. And then there's tens of thousands of mid-sized streamers that no one comes to because they're too small. You potentially have the ability to try to automate that problem. And actually, sponsorships on smaller streamers work better because they have relationship with the audience, but it's not worth any human effort to try to work with a streamer with a 1,000 or a 500 audience. They're too small. So I need a way to aggregate 1,000 of them at 1,000 audience each to get to 1 million audience. And if you can solve that with your analytics plus your platform, you might have something. Now, you're kind of close to that problem. The question is how to take it the last mile. And I think the beauty of what I'm saying is none of those people have agents. You can actually just blow off all the agents and go for the middle tier. You can add the agents later if you want, but actually the opportunity is to address all the streamers and creators without agents, which is the vast majority. How could you scale that, or at least consider that?
Yeah, that's Actually, with both of our products, which I said before, which is FantaStreamer and Reacts, our goal is to give more attention to the middle to lower tier streamers on Twitch, and give them like the spotlight that they deserve, because there are sometimes brands want to do some sponsorships on Twitch, but they, as you said before, just go for the bigger names and for the bigger stats and so on and so forth, while behind a middle to lower tier streamer there's a good audience most of the times, and also a middle to lower streamer may help you convert more than a bigger streamer, because there are, yes, bigger streamers that have a lot of grasp on their audience, but they are few, because most of them are just watched and have no real interaction with the streamer, because there's a lot of people. And so I do really agree with what you said, and this is actually our goal, to allow middle to lower tier streamers to have sponsorships from brands that are in contact with us, and allow also the brands that work with us, because with our platform we will need to have a reputation with the brand, so we need to give the best results to them, and we are sure that the middle to lower tier streamers are the ones that provide the better audience and the better conversion and have the best analytics overall in terms of chat sentiment. I can tell you that for sure. And I think that we will try to solve this sponsorship at a scale problem that I think is a really good phrase that we never thought about it, but thank you.
All right,
Joe, do you want to say anything? Your relationship with sponsors is complicated.
Yeah, I was kind of waiting for this, George. I was like waiting for this. For self-VPN introduction, let's go.
Okay, yes. I mean, I need to detach the rational aspects and the emotional aspects of my reaction or brain now. So I should decide if I want to put money on it or not. So my question is, I would like to know, I mean, I'm the technical guy, so I would like to know more which kind of data you extract from streams. And give me a hint about some technical detail, whatever you can
Sorry
say.
if I stop you again. Sorry if I get in between again. I'm starting to think that maybe the audio issue is on my side, because I was also hearing Mr. Rip right now with audio problems. So sorry.
I can hear everybody pretty well.
Yeah, so I think it's on my side. Well, do you mind?
Are you doing the audio in the embeds, or are you doing it through the browser?
Through the browser.
Refresh the call quick would be the easiest thing. So just refresh and rejoin.
Just refresh this page?
Yes.
Okay. Am I back? Wait.
GG.
Oh, maybe
cool.
We'll see. Thank you. I love the IT answer to everything. Just refresh or like restart. I love this. Sorry, if you wanna keep going answering the questions. Sorry for interrupting.
Yeah. So we extract all the old metrics as stated before. So average viewers, peak viewers, followers gained, number of followers, and hours streamed, games played, or categories, and so on. So these are the classic, you may say,
social blade stuff.
Yeah. Then we add all the chat listening. So we listen to all the messages of the chat. We are listening also to the messages of this chat right now. And for all the messages, for example, for the sentiment part, each message goes through a pipeline, and we detect the language. So if it's Italian or if it's English, those are the only two current languages that we support. And the message gets split in either one of the two models that handle the sentiment analysis, for example, and irony detection and hate speech detection. So we have all these models that ingest this kind of data and connects it to that kind of stream. So we have the streamer, then we have all the streams of the streamer, and for a singular particular stream, we have all the information. So how the chat reacted, what kind of words were used, if any brands were mentioned, and if particular words were mentioned using semantic search also. And this is all the part that goes through.
Do you know Spike Trap? It's a startup. I mean, they exited. There's a friend of mine working with them, and they do the exact same thing. I don't know if you know this competitor.
No, we do not know
it's
them.
It's called Spike Trap.
Spike Trap, yeah. That's good.
Well, okay, but you also say that you want to detect if the streamer is using like profanity or something which is not suitable for advertisers and something like this. So you do also some data mining on the video aspect.
Yeah, we do also some data mining on
very expensive
on the video. Yeah, it's pretty expensive, and that's why we have such a small pool, you may say, of streamers. And as the way we do it right now, we just get the video for the live, and then of course we do some video analyzation that's done via.
I mean, as a feedback, if I were going to move one step forward and say, okay, maybe I want to invest with you, I will do a due diligence on the sustainability, scalability of the system. So I mean, be ready for that if you are willing to accept investors.
Yeah, for sure. We are always like, we want when we are looking for investors, that's the first thing that we search, because we believe we are in this startup ecosystem since January 2022, and actually we have never heard about someone getting a technical due diligence, and we think that that's pretty sad. So we pretty welcome any technical due diligence when undergoing investments, for sure.
How much does it cost you to analyze 1 hour of stream?
That's a pretty good question. Actually, we do not have that kind of cost because it's aggregated, because we have a huge architecture using containers. We use Kubernetes to manage all these containers and the listening of the various streamers. And that's a good question and a good point. I think that we should figure it out.
Yeah, I mean, whatever also is the smallest unit you can figure out, if it's 100 hours or 100, like one streamer for a day. Do you have any ballpark number there?
Actually not. No, I cannot give you this answer because, as I said, it's like the number is merged with other numbers, and to provide it to you, I think that we should extract it in some way.
How do you plan to make money? Are you going to take a cut from the budget that the brands invest?
No, actually, what we wanted to do is not get in the middle of the transaction. So not be the famous middleman that gets a fee from the paid, from the sponsorship deal and so on and so forth, because we think that this kind of business model pushes brands and agencies to finalize the contract outside of the platform. So our business model, that was also a question that Mr. Rip asked before, is actually to provide the analytics as a subscription service. So when you pay for the platform, you can see all the analytics of the streamers on the platform, and you have 3 credits for the chatbot part if you are a brand, and so you have 3 campaigns that you can create each month. And if you want to create more campaigns, of course, you need to pay for more credits.
If this is supposed to be like Shark Tank, then I want to tell you that's a crappy idea. If you have the chance to be at scale and take a piece of transactions from all the little streamers that you can aggregate that have no other solution and no one will bother to go direct to, you may not agree with it morally, and I will certainly piss off the streamers listening. But taking a cut out of thousands of those transactions, people who are too small to go any other way, is the way to make money. Now, you may not be interested in that. You may be interested in doing something morally right and beautiful. You go right ahead, right until you're bankrupt. But if you want to make money, you take a cut of everything passing through from people who are too small to have any other choice, and then you're a bad person with a lot of money.
This is a Mr. Wonderful vibe.
Okay.
But I think, I was going to say it in a different way, which is you can become the agency for a lot of those streamers, but I think Ethan summarized it better, because a lot of those creators also are receiving sponsor requests, not a lot, but they are. If they can use you as the way of receiving sponsored deals, then they don't need the external agency, which already charges criminal fees. So if you want to do good for the world, you can charge a better fee and you can be more transparent, because what agencies do is they usually aggregate a lot of deals and they take whatever cut they feel like, as much as the streamers allow for, basically. So they will get 10,000 from the company. If the total amount of what streamer asks is 5,000, they're gonna get 5,000 for themselves. You could say we take a 10, 15, 20% cut if we provide you the deal. And you can even say, we become your media pitch deck. Like, streamers are awful at presenting themselves, talking about data, about their streams. And if you tell them, look, you can use my platform, you connect yourself to our APIs or whatever, maybe you can get some data for free thanks to this. And maybe you also can include those channels into the ones that you scrape more regularly, so that you save some money on, and you only spend it on streamers that might actually use your product. And then say, look, send this to the sponsor that wants to work with you. They will see the reaction of chat when they present the product. They will have more trust in the fact that people following you are not fake, that I'm not boosting the engagement on my Instagram post by just copying emojis like a lot of influencers do now. And I will not take a big cut of that. I'll take, 0.5%. If I bring you the deal from my marketplace of brands, then I take 15% or whatever the number is. But yeah, that's how I would have phrased it. But I like the Kevin O'Leary version better.
That was clear.
Thank you. Yeah,
Yeah, now in chat we have a new meme apparently. Who is Ethan Evans? How is Ethan Evans? Where is Ethan Evans? I'm loving this so much. I actually have like a question in chat from BB Jess that joined us, also a streamer, and they're asking if brands are already using chat. If you know about any other company that is already using chat tracking specifically.
Chat tracking.
Yeah, if they're tracking what chat is writing and what are viewers writing in chat, if there is anything like that right now.
As far as we know, at least in the Italian market, there are not any tools that do something like that. And also we've spoken with other brands and agencies, and we had some feedbacks about brands wanting to know what the chat looks like and what the chat writes down and so on and so forth. That was one of the driving motors for our idea, and to start creating what is Reacts. That actually the name is Reactions because it starts from the chat. So it started as a tool to analyze the reactions of the chat for a streamer. So that's how the name comes from. And so,
do you know Adver.live?
Yeah, we work with Adver Live, yeah.
Yeah, but just for people that don't know, it's a product that automate basically pop-ups on stream for sponsored deals. Yeah, I think those are also good integrations for you to have.
Yeah, we actually are in talks with them, so we are pretty good friends.
All right, I think we have time for one last question from Theo, Giorgio, Ethan. If not, we go to the feedback.
I got nothing else. Only comment is make it so your website's much more clear who you're targeting. It was very unclear when I checked it quick. Like, just say we make it easier for brands to identify the right streamers, but like make your pitch as simple, focused, concise for who it's for as possible.
Thank you.
Would you feel confident sharing information about your cap table? Like, if I actually wanted to invest in this, who would I be investing in? Is it the mother company that you mentioned at the beginning? Who has a stake? If you can share it,
you would invest in the mother company, in the software house, and we have a clean cap table right now, which is divided in 3 people, which are the CEO, the CTO, and the COO, and so it's pretty clear right now. There's no rubbish.
And what's the focus of people? Like, is there anyone focused 100% on this, or is it split between 2 different products you said you have?
Yeah, so we as a software house, as I said before, we are building a team to make good products that then we can either market really easily without investments, or find investments to maybe have a pretty easier go to market. And right now we are in 5 developers, I think, which are split between these 2 products. One is Fantaswimmer, which is actually already live. We have an app and it's already working, and it's just new features and fixing bugs mainly. And then me, Marcello, are more focused, which we have more research and development background. We are more focused on the React part right now, and studying how we can make it a really good product and sell it. So this is how we have 2 junior developers that are working on the product with my supervision, of course, and then me and Marcello and another developer, we are working on React.
Okay. I think for me as an investor, that would be the biggest, I'd say, yellow flag I would have, because it's a very different path to go towards the investor route and towards we can self-sustain this business, which I think you can. I don't think this is a product that is necessarily venture scale. It could be, but as an investor, I don't think I would be comfortable investing in a mother company that does a lot of different things, and then some might be venture scale, others might be just products that exist, unless they are really key to the growth of the main product you have. So I think that's something to be figured out. But
that's something that we really figured out, and we had a lot of feedbacks like that, of course, in the past, because it's not easy being a software house right now in 2023, because of course most of the times you have a startup which is a product, and a product which is a startup, okay? And so it's much easier for venture capitals to invest in that product, in that startup. So we were like this, and we decided to move on and to start focusing more on our products and on our team, and to build a really strong team, a really strong tech team and marketing team, to start building really solid products, and start selling them, and start creating something good inside this ecosystem. And of course, as you said, it's not easy from a venture capital point of view, but we do think that with the team that we are building on, and us, the founders, and so on, we will do great stuff in the future. And that's pretty much it.
Well, I'm very, very excited to see not only like the grades from the judges on this one. I'm very excited because, like, as you saw, a lot of us are in like they know about a little bit about Twitch, and it's really nice. I just wanted to share with you, Paolo and Marcello, like an unsolicited.
He's never gonna get it out now. Say it again for him. Faster.
Unsolicited. I'm not asked advice. That someone in chat shared, and I think that it's interesting to keep in mind. That never assume that nobody else is doing something so broad. Even Twitch advertising.tv bros sentiment tracking. It doesn't mean there's not innovations you can make in that. There's not innovation you can make in that, but never consider yourself alone in a field, even if you really are. That's actually something that I always share to people. Like, don't be scared about sharing your idea. For sure, someone already had your idea. In this particular stage of this period, everyone had the same ideas in general. But thank you for being here with us today. I'm very curious to see how this is gonna be, because it could be really useful for some of us. And please keep working on this.
I hope so. Thank you.
Thank you. Have a nice day. I'll see you later. Maybe with I don't know how we're gonna do the announcement. Maybe it's gonna be too much to ask you to stick around till the end, because we're gonna go on for a little bit. We still have 2 more startups, so.
Yeah, anyway. I think we're just gonna announce it, and whoever wins is gonna see it from the stream if they want to stay.
These 2 are Twitch fanatics, though. They'll be watching silently in the background.
Yeah, for sure.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Have a nice one.
You too. Bye. All right. I'm opening the poll for you, chat. You should see it. You should see it. All right, chat. You should see the poll right now. Opened. By voting, you can vote just by, where is it? You can just type in chat a number between 1 and 9 to get to have your vote selected. Like, put it in. You have 1 vote each, and then we're gonna do the full average, and the average is gonna be also with what the judges are saying. Remember that it's thanks to you if a startup is gonna win a very special prize of glory and support and amazing thoughts and many claps. So remember, you're very important in this process, chat. Very, very important. Actually, Eden, I wanted to reference to you, cite you, reference, like to a message that you wrote in chat that I think that everyone who's watching this and it's interested in startups should definitely know about. It's like being alone in a market is usually more a sign that is a bad market than you are clever, that the fact that you're clever. That's exactly the thing that we were talking about before.
Yeah, competition is actually validation that your market is interesting. Being alone, it's possible that somehow you were more clever than the 7 billion other people on Earth, but that's less likely. Also, many markets don't have single winners, right? There are lots of car makers, there are lots of phone companies, there are lots of streaming sites. It's alone isn't the main thing. Best, a clear set of customers to serve, much more useful.
Yeah, and also first to market is not necessarily the best, right? That's another misconception that it can be an advantage, but most times, by its really
absolutely.
Yeah.
First can help and can hurt. Pin.
In Twitch, yeah. And maybe I shouldn't do, but I have been working behind the curtains on an idea, which is just an idea, but it's an open source accelerator. So the goal will be provide for free content to startups, interviews with very practical interviews with people working in different company departments. And I am working with some companies already to offer deals to startups that will be selected, let's say. So maybe as a small prize, what I could say is that the winning startup, I will approve as the first official startup to be part of Rapido, which is the name of the accelerator. So you will have access to discounts for tools like AppSpot or maybe AWS credits, this type of things. Still work in progress, but I guess it's not ready. But you will have it. So maybe it's a good.
That would be so appreciated. I think that everyone participating in this would really appreciate this, for sure. So we will make it. We will make it. This was the very first one. This one is being like a pilot of it. So I'm telling also myself that this is the pilot, so I don't feel too bad if things are not going too good, you know? if we're having the technical difficulties, if we're having any type of problems, it's okay. It's a pilot. We will have time, especially if chat approves this, we will have all the time to like do it more times and do it even better. Anyway, I see we already have the next...
yeah, it's going well. Don't worry. You're doing a lot of technical things and...
Actually, I'm very happy to be just the caster, so I can take care of all these things. I'm thinking like if I was a judge too, that would have been a bit too much. I don't think that my brain could have made it. But are you ready for the next two startups? How are you feeling? Do you need judges? Do you need maybe a break for getting water? Do you need a break? Theo, you're muted.
We talked about technical issues and they arrived immediately.
I didn't talk because I thought it was my problem.
Oh, I'm having issues?
It might be worth turning off your video in call just to save CPU.
All right. It's a CPU problem, you think? I'm also
Yeah.
gonna...
Yeah,
absolutely. You're with like multiple browser sources plus like being in the call with a lot of people in it plus
Notion.
streaming.
I'm gonna close Discord. No, I actually need. I'm gonna close. Oh, I have like.
Yeah, keep Discord open. Like it's having many video feeds when you don't necessarily need to is always going to be a lot.
Oh.
So yeah.
I think that is also a problem about the fact that I had like 3,000 Chrome tabs open, which I know is not good. Definitely not good. But
I have a strict rule of 10 or less. If I have more than 10 open, I immediately close the window.
10 or less? 10 is already a lot. I get to the limit of 7. 7 is already way too much. But
Yeah.
anyway.
Giorgio and I have a whole podcast based on keeping Chrome tabs open.
So for me, what you call 100 tabs for me is just a Wednesday.
All right.
There's
Then
this thing called bookmarks.
oh yeah. Yeah,
Come
but I need that open to know, you know.
Are we in the 90s with bookmarks?
Anyway, chat, I'm closing the poll. I hope you all voted in chat. If you haven't, I'm sorry. The poll is closed, and we can move to the next startup. If we should be ready. All right.
Yeah, I think they can start sharing the slides. Yes, they're doing that now.
In the meantime, hi.
We are still getting the
Leonardo,
black
you're
screen.
muted.
Oh, that's good.
Hello, and again, you're muted. Most probably you did not select the right microphone.
Yeah, make sure you have a microphone device selected, Leonardo.
I love Leonardo.
But yeah, in the meantime, I can do a short introduction, which basically now became our way of gaining time while we wait. So Leonardo is gonna introduce us to Dealerode. I always have issues pronouncing the names of these startups, but basically it's a better way for you to buy a new car, right? So he's gonna correct me if I'm wrong, but this is the topic of the next presentation. Really excited to see it. Also because they might be the first startup that actually of today at least that has a MVP ready, and so maybe we can even start poking holes into the product, which is one of my favorite annoying things to do.
So is this gonna be a Uber for Uber driver?
Do you guys hear me now pretty well?
Yeah, we
Yes.
do. I'm actually.
But your screen is black.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry.
I have just a very quick question. Then I'm gonna ask you, Tom, since you already know about it. Are we gonna see AI in this presentation?
Actually, I'm not sure.
Okay.
I don't think we are.
Okay.
Blockchain.
Blockchain now it's not.
It's
the
a
trend
bad
anymore.
word. It's a bad word.
Yeah.
Do you guys see my screen right now?
Yes, we do.
Yeah.
Okay. Tell me when you want to go. When you want to.
Sure.
Yeah.
Tell me when you are ready.
I think I'm ready. If you guys see everything correctly, I can move on. Just
Judges,
give you the go.
can we move? Can we go?
Let's go.
Let's go.
All right. So the road towards best dealers. That is our slogan, and that is what composing the name Dealerode. So what actually is Dealerode? Dealerode is a platform that allows users to anonymously ask for car quotes in 1 minute from verified dealerships, and it also gives them a platform where they can actually compare the offers and spot the best ones. What is the problem that we're trying to solve? On average, the dealership user interaction is very time-consuming and complex. And according to some of the statistics, we discovered that the user takes up to 15 hours, but also 20 or 25 hours to ask for a purchase of a car. Now, this means that it takes a lot of time from when the user spots a car to when the user actually gets to buy the car. So that is a big problem. The other problem that we're trying to solve is transparency. So when the user try to cut down this process going to online platform, more often than not, they find platforms that are just doing lead generation, meaning taking user sign-up data, keeping them for themselves, but also sharing with affiliate dealership that often are just affiliate brands that they make offers to them through phone calls, and most likely they don't even have competing offers. So therefore offering the user not an ideal open market situation. So what is the solution that we propose? Well, we propose a platform that allows the user to quickly sign up with minimum data. And this data is just a name, email, and after the sign up, the user can go ahead and create ad hoc requests of course, for different brands, model, and cars, and can evaluate the offer. But specifically, it's a 3-step process. The user make the request, go through the configuration, and it ends up selecting a little bit of some of the model that he's interested in. He signs up in the platform and he waits for offers. As offers come in, he receives emails, and he's able to access the platform to keep watching the offers, and then eventually he spots the best one, and with a click, he just create the contact with the dealer through a shared email. So the UX of the platform purposely pushes the user to create multiple requests for different car, because we want the user to have a comprehensive evaluation during purchases, during the purchasing phase of a car. So not only saving time with the platform, but hopefully saving also a little bit of money. What are the market data? Well, there was a big crash in 2020 for obvious reason, but as for 2021, a big it came, and it basically took the average sales per dealership to 38 millions, creating a total market size in Italy. Of course, we're talking about 40 billion euros, having 1,100 active dealerships right now, officially registered. And the data is also growing for used car market as far as also new car market. The only difference is that new car market is growing, but at a slower pace. To us, that shines the line on a market whole that can easily be filled with a platform that allows the dealership to easily express both formulas, either used car or new cars, in the same way, same platform. And also redditivity grew from 1.1% to 1.9% out of the sales. The competitors are divided in 3 main categories. The first one is used car website, such as Autoscout. I think everyone knows it, very popular in Italy. The second category is dedicated rental car, long-term rental car platform like MiaCar. And other competitors that are closer to dealer road, like Driver K, offers the same experience, but without a few unique value proposition that we would bring to the user. The first one is having an asynchronous space where the user can actually access whenever they want, evaluate the offers, not receiving phone call, not receiving unexpected meetings from salesmen that propose the price. And we offer total open market situation, so different offers from different dealerships. So what do we have right now? We actually have an MVP. It's live and accessible now at dealerroad.com. And it basically was part of a campaign that we ran during 3 weeks. And it accumulated us 90 signed up users, 300 requests made, 16 dealerships that signed up, and 600 offers created from these 16 dealerships. The business model for us was easy. As we talked with the dealerships, we understood that for them, when it comes to this kind of platform, it's very important to keep a fixed price. So price that has to propose as a SaaS business, or software as a service. And the tier price that we got in mind goes from a minimum of 300 euros per month as a maximum of 1,000 euro per month, divided in dealerships size, how many places, how many dealers, how many cars they want to sell. So, of course, this was created mostly thanks to our time and not with actual cost, but we tried to translate our time in cost and some of the cost actually, of course. So breaking down the financials, basically, we spent an average of 2,000 euro per month on a part-time software engineer, hosting that costs us 30 euro per month, and a marketing that goes for 500 euros per month. We accumulated a user acquisition cost of 5 euros and a customer acquisition cost of 30 euros for the dealerships. So how can you actually help? Well, right now we're fundraising. We're pre-seed. We never got any raises, of course. So our valuation is projected over the next 3 years with a discounted cash flow technique, and is of 700,000 euros. So we would like to give away, 10% for at least, of course, 7,000 euro. And contacts, we were able to pull the dealership that we have right now thanks to direct contact with them. And so for us, it's very important to get to know people in the industry. And with the team, well, the team is me. I got 5 years of experience as a software engineer, is what I've done my whole life, working with startup to making their product into reality. And I work with early stage startups, and I am a studio founder. And Fabrizio Placanica, which is a dealer, has been 15 years in the industry as a dealership salesman, but also manager of sales. So he has the expertise in the industry. And I would say that's pretty much it. Thank you.
Thank you for this
Thank
presentation. Okay,
Thank you.
Judges, this is the moment that you love the most, where you get to ask all your questions and all your doubts are going to be explained.
Yeah, I think finally we see an MVP and some real user data. So that's great to see. We have more things to poke around, so that's fun.
How can you build something with a part-time software engineer?
Yeah, that was a little bit of an estimated cost. Basically, I've built this platform during 4 months, spending my free time, so roughly 1 hour, 2 hours per day myself, building the backend, the front end, and the whole infrastructure. As technically speaking, the system is very simple. We're not using complex blockchain or AI. We just add a little bit of a ChatGPT integration to solve a small use case that we had. But that's everything. I basically built everything myself. So I was kind of estimating a month expense of a part-time software engineer. I understand that it's not feasible moving forward if we want to build the product and focus more on product development. 6 months for what we have right now is a long time. Of course, the platform is very basic, but it's a working MVP. So yeah, that was just an estimated voice. Didn't actually happen.
Would have taken less time with no code. So Giorgio, sorry, I know that.
But I love coding, so it's just
makes sense.
So it's just
yeah.
I'm on the team like minimal code. Like if you could do this in a few hours part time and still pull off what you pulled off, I think that's more a good sign than a bad one. But
I'm leaving. Sorry, guys.
Thank you.
Well, it does raise the question: what's the sustainable differentiation? I'll just put that out there. If it's not the code, then what is your market barrier, or what is your value proposition that you can sustain?
Yeah. So we scouted throughout the platform that are now existing in Vogue in Italy, used for getting a new car, whether it's a new car, used car, a long-term rental car. And what we find out is basically most of the platform won't allow the user that specifically is looking to buy a new car to sign up and not tick a box that says we're going to give your data away to affiliated dealerships, and they're going to call you out of nowhere, out of the blue, with offers that you then need to sign. And more often than not, this offer did not came from different dealerships. So I received 2-3 offers from the same business. So that is not an ideal open market situation where I would like to receive per one request. I would like to have multiple offers, but from multiple actors, so multiple dealerships, and that to us is a unique value. This industry seems like everyone wants to call you on the phone, which is something that I hated, and it was a problem that I had when I was buying my car. And I was like, we should have a platform where I can easily, on Friday night, go in and watch the offers that came through the week, because it's the moment I have time, and I wanna evaluate that right now, and I don't want to share my phone number unless I'm interested. If I'm interested, I can click a button and I can connect with the dealer, and that is super fast, and I can get in touch very, very quickly.
So privacy, I got it. Like that makes sense. Anyone can copy that, but if you're first and if you can establish that reputation, it has value. So it's an interesting play if you can get dealers signed up. I'll hold my other questions or my comments until after other judges go.
Yeah, I think you got your first investor in chat. I see that they gifted 50 subs, and I think Julia's gonna split some of that, right?
Yes. This is between you and me, Leonardo. I'm gonna send you this. What the heck, Maniac? Thank you for the 50 subs. I guess I appreciate you. You almost broke the stream, but I appreciate you very much. Sorry. Back to you, Leonardo. Sorry.
Yeah, no, it's important to acknowledge the support. I actually, building up on what Ethan was asking, how did you acquire the current dealerships? So is it just through the network of the other founder that worked in this industry for 15 years? Did you do cold emails? What did you do?
Some of them, specifically out of 16 that we had at the moment filming this presentation, 5 of them came out of just simple getting to know people. So they are found the new people that just got my content, and I messaged them about the platform, and they were interested. They signed up. The other basically 10, 11 dealerships just came in with the ad campaign. So we ran Google Ads and influencer marketing. And basically what we discovered is that when you try to attract user, you don't only attract user, but you also attract dealerships, because dealerships are kind of listening where the clients and users are moving, and they're kind of following along. It's interestingly enough, when we were doing email at first, before the MVP, before everything, with just an idea, we had so much cold no's. I'm not interested. I don't want to join. But when then they saw that the platform was out, some of the user was signing up. Some of the same dealership that told us no at the cold email when we just had the idea I found them in the database after a while. So this means that either someone told them or the marketing just worked, it got to them. But yeah, the amount of is basically split between a good 30% personal knowledge, and the rest 70% of dealerships came through ads.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I mean that sounds good and healthy. I think there is gonna be a chasm that you're gonna have to cross at some point to make this larger. You do have opportunity. Did you think of any way of? I hate this word. It's a bit overused, but like hacking the funnel. So what comes to mind in your case is like the classic Airbnb Craigslist example, where in your platform would be someone wants a quote for a car which is only available in a dealership, and you send the dealership the email saying, hey, this person is looking for this car. If you have it, the lead is yours, let's say. Do you have anything like that in mind? Anything that
many of the dealership were pushed making offer to actually use the platform, make offers, when I clearly told them, here's a snapshot database, there's all these people that are looking for specifically BMWs, Audis, Fiats, and these kind of cars. And as soon as they saw actual user in the platform wanting those cars, that was a call to action to actually make offers and use the platform. Our disadvantage right now is we have 90 users and we're growing to 100 as time of speaking, but basically those users are actually interested in changing cars, and dealership value a lot valuable leads, and they just start to make offers when they get pushed and pinged. And there is a notification email system that specifically targets dealership when user comes in, specifically when asks for the brands that kind of dealerships is selling. And we are at almost brand coverage. This means that the majority of the car for the brands in the market are covered, but for example, we don't have a Ferrari dealership right now. So if someone asks for a Ferrari, we need to go ahead and find a Ferrari dealership because that's a brand that doesn't get asked a lot. So we are eating brand coverage, but we're not quite there yet.
No. All right. I mean, it's interesting. I love the experience that you're offering. As a person that is not into cars, I think this would be a better experience for me, and I think a lot of people will see the same value. My main question is, first, it's about the used market, how complicated it is. I know people that were acquired by Kazoo, which has been a bit of a disaster in the used car market. And I know a person working for Auto Uno Group. I know it's a very tough business, and to work with dealership is probably very complicated, but you have the expertise. I think you can figure it out. But do people actually, are people like me and they are okay with not picking the car themselves, or do they want a specific car? Because your user experience is centered around, I might be interested in the BMW A4 and the Toyota Corolla. That's a weird combination, but what are you seeing from the users? Did you get any feedback on this?
Yeah, so what I'm seeing the behavior user is that they are trying to evaluate different car from the same segment. So in the car market, we have the word segment that defines, for example, SUV from a certain range. So segment is made of the body of the car and the price of the car. For example, if you want a high price SUV cars, you know that we're talking Audi, BMWs, Mercedes. So many users use the platform and select, I would like an SUV of a certain price tag, but to me is equal. BMW, Mercedes, Audi doesn't change that much because they're same segment, same kind of German style of building cars. So they go ahead, they use the platform and they ask for these 3 requests. And then they basically get offers back. And sometimes it's just retail because they don't have the used car and they have the retail offer, but it's a new car, it needs to be ordered. Some other time there is a new car, it's already there in the dealership waiting for someone to pick it up. So it's very fast for the user to go there and actually buy it. And other times they propose used car. It depends on what do we have. So as you mentioned, the used car market, it is kind of messy, but it's growing. It's growing a lot because new cars are suffering the semiconductor crisis. So people goes, I don't want to wait 9 months for a car. I'll just pick a used one. And basically but they also want a used one that is not very much used. And so they are not okay to go into C2C kind of selling, buying from other private individual. They want the dealership to sell that to them, even to a bigger price, but with a guarantee that is a bike car, has done not many kilometers. And what dealer actually helps with is helps those dealership propose those cars, because in platform like AutoScout, the less expensive wins. all the time. If you can filter the price, yes, of course, but almost nobody puts the filter on the price to have a minimum price. So dealer is more towards what dealerships can offer and what dealership right now have, but don't actually have an online place where really can resonate. So, yeah.
So last question to clarify: the dealerships on the platform are not paying yet, right?
Yeah, no, the monetization strategy is not activated, but we talked to them, and many of them told them, yeah, we need fixed expense. So it would be great for us not to pay for unlocked lead or this kind of stuff. We need a fixed price. And basically, we estimated that currently, thanks to the profitability they are growing, if they are able to sell one car every 2 months, they will be able to cover the full price of the subscription plus some revenue. So that is what we're going for.
Okay, judges, is there anyone else of you who has questions?
I don't really have just yet. I have a little bit about trying to put this. I think that I'm gonna do like my story thing again, where I think you have the opportunity to tell a really good story to help like solidify the pitch here, especially knowing that like you are technical and your co-founder has a history with dealerships. Almost feels like there's an opportunity here to like start with a personal story of you trying to buy a car and the pain that you experienced using different platforms. And then you talked to this friend who's into dealers and he described how bad it was on the other side. And you saw this opportunity to bridge the gap. I think that if that's, it seems almost like that's how it happened, but like telling that story can be really, really compelling.
Thanks, Theo. Yeah, that's valuable. I had a story that just went like you described. So talking to people and being kind of stuck out, I thought a solution like this existed in the market. And yeah, there is exactly that story that you just told about. I was talking with my founder and talking with other dealerships, and we understood that, yeah, there is a little bit of a hole that could be filled. Yeah, thank you for the feedback.
So in terms of feedback, I'll just say I was working with a startup recently in the US that looks exactly like your startup. One technical founder, one car dealer founder, small company working with making it easier for dealers to bid on used cars, and they just got bought. So they just had their exit. So I have sort of direct firsthand proof that what you're doing has potential. So if that's encouraging to you, you know, it's very real. You can actually find, I won't be able to post a link in chat, but the company is carlstreet.com and CARL Street. And they look just like you, like exactly. So second thing is,
with the same glasses too?
What's that?
With the same glasses too? They look the same? Never mind.
Yes, even the same glasses on the founders. The CEO also wears glasses at Carl Street. Anyway, moving on to how they did it, the thing you're going to find is that car dealers are horribly non-technical and sort of hate adopt tech. And so the biggest thing is figuring out how you're going to scale your hand holding of dealers, because yes, you might get a few early adopters, but making the tech really easy and how to integrate it into their systems to get their technical burden down, because basically people who run car dealerships and people who can log on to a website are not the same people, it turns out. And so you really have to lower the technical barrier to make it super easy. And then it could scale because everybody buys cars and everybody wants to think they're getting a fair deal, and nobody wants to be harassed by salespeople. So the problem is there. If you can solve that, just improve it, you have a real customer problem that everyone can empathize with.
Thank you very much. That was just amazing to hear. I'm looking for the US market and Canada market, UK market. I know there are actors like this doing great numbers and doing great. So you just confirmed what I was actually analyzing. So thank you very much.
Yep.
Yeah. I would dare to say that maybe the biggest threat I see to this business is the evolution of the car market overall. I mean, actually, no, there is a much bigger one, which is competitors. It's something where who has the best UX and the biggest contact, it's probably going to win. But if you solve that issue, the only thing would would really be how's the car market evolving in the next years. But the more time passes, the more I think it's clear that it's not going to change that much in the next years. So, every year is 5 years from the day I'll be able to just Uber everywhere. I don't see that happening anytime soon. And at that point, you could become the Uber for Uber cars that Giorgio was talking about.
Yeah, I'm sorry to reinforce the bias, but yes, I know Uber startups are not like trend anymore. I don't want to be one, but yeah.
No, but it makes sense. So, in terms of in terms of the final customer, you mentioned ads. Is that the only thing you use so far to gain leads? And you said €5 is the cost per what? Per email collected or per person that went through the whole funnel?
Yeah, €5 is the cost for user that actually signed up in the platform, so that we have name, we have email, so we have his data. So that is the cost to acquire the user. The cost to acquire the, of course, customers, which are the dealerships, is higher, of course. But yeah, they all came in through not only ads, so Google ads and Meta ads, but also influencer marketing. So there is a big space of influencer in the car industry, especially in Italy. And I got to talk to some of them, and kind of everyone liked the platform. And some of that just made a few prices for me that were very good, and I just took the chance. And yeah, many users came in through those kind of funnels, so influencer marketing, but many dealerships as well. So many dealerships saw this influencer pushing this product for this first 1 week, and yeah, that worked. They brought in a few dealerships.
What's the drop off in the funnel so far? So a person signs up, gives you their email. How many actually completed the whole flow?
If you go to dealer.com, you will see that the flow, it's very unique. It's basically tells the user if you're looking for a car. So the first thing that happens is that you go to a section where we allow you to configure your car. So you want a SUV, you want a sedan, whatever you want. Then you choose the brand. If you have brand preferences, give us a way you would like to pay. Give us a few information. We make you select the cars through a list of generated cars. We have a global database of all the cars available. And once you do all of that, we then ask you for your email, and you basically have done all the process. So all the users that came through completed the whole process. So
okay, yeah. Sorry, I didn't see how it worked, the funnel. Maybe we can also share for. Actually, I'm gonna just add more
thank you everyone,
for Julia.
Thank you for sharing.
So, not sure that's gonna be good. But yeah, I think people can see the product by themselves. If I have one small suggestion UX-wise, it's not very intuitive. Even if you have the arrow here, that the button to move forward is down here at the end of the page. So I think it would be good to have an easier way for the user to move in, maybe a sticky button at the bottom, at the top.
Yeah, UX UI is could be improved. Is specifically being improved a little bit to mobile, so that the thing that you just described happens if you're on a phone using the system. And basically, you got to put there.
This looks
and basically, it's just been a friend of mine helped me with the UI. Another friend of mine kind of helped me with the UX and the flow and the text of everything. So it's a little bit homemade, the product, but it works. And the API that we're using for showing you those car images are on a free tier that they allow you to actually access all the images through a CDN. Those are great APIs. We would like to switch to them, but they have a big cost. So €400 per month. So that would be one of the next steps: improving APIs, improving the platform, best UX, best UI, and
All right. Maybe then I can start the round of feedback just to close off. I like the idea. I think so far it's probably the most straightforward one that we have seen. Competition is the biggest threat. I am actually helping a startup in a similar market, and I'm seeing that leads are much less expensive than I thought. So I also see what you're experiencing to acquire customers. Focusing on the pitch, I think there was too much text. It wasn't really like it's fine if you're sending the deck to someone. If you're presenting the deck, then I would like to see more visuals, less text, because then people start reading as you speak and just creates confusion. And also I would delete, this personal preference, but I would delete the cost. Like, I don't need to know you're going to be spending €30 a month on hosting, or that you're going to spend €500 on marketing. I would rather see more big picture stuff. Otherwise, you're just going to generate questions like, why part-time software engineer and not full-time one that can, improve your platform. Like, it's a necessary friction that you are creating for yourself, I think.
It's
thank you.
intuitive, but
That was
often
valuable.
having less info results in less weird questions and like helps you drive the conversation more.
Thank you.
I just wanted to confirm with you, Leonardo, that your website is doeroad.com, because some people are getting redirected to a gambling website. You muted?
I see Kik is everywhere nowadays, huh?
Tom, is it the one? I don't know if
I'm going to link the website. I cannot sell links in chat, right?
No. Be careful. You can send it to me. Yeah, I will send it, chat. This is the website. There you go. That's where you can find it. Thank you, Tom. Thank you.
Yeah, sure. I hope it works. For me, it works.
Yeah.
So
it works.
Your cheapest acquisition channel is going to be Julia's stream. I see the plan all
yeah,
along.
most likely, yeah. So I'm very grateful to be here, honestly. Yeah, largest most text on the market. Hopefully, it goes well.
I mean, I'm very happy to have you here. Thank you for participating in this. Do we have any other feedbacks from the judges? Anything else that you would like to share with Leonardo before we send him into the unknown of the internet?
Rate him. Put up the poll.
All right, Leonardo, thank you so much for participating in this. We will let you know
Thank you, everyone.
It was graded. Thank you.
Thank you.
Cheers.
Bye.
Cheers.
Bye.
Bye.
Yeah.
All right. Ethan, I saw you were. First, let me put out the poll again for the. I have to rewrite it, all of it. Chat, you're gonna have to bear this with me. But I thought I first wanted to ask all of you, how do you feel about storytelling, and how are you seeing people telling their stories? And maybe if you have some maybe suggestions for anyone who's like creating like a pitch on how to do better storytelling.
Yeah, I think Theo should go first because this is.
Yeah, I think especially for early stage, you're not necessarily investing in the company, the idea, or what they think their roadmap is. You're investing in a team. And it's so important to understand that team and their potential. Most companies pivot multiple times before they end up on something successful. And knowing the team both has like the right position, like individually, the people have the right experience and potential to execute something in that space, as well as ideally the synergy between them too. Like, I tend to find that a good founding team that understands the space and each other is much more significant in terms of like likelihood to find success than the idea that they pitch early stage.
I agree, but I also partially disagree. I mostly agree because there is also this myth that if the team is good, VC are gonna give a lot of money, and we saw some startup getting 100 millions just out of a Google Doc.
Google Doc, 7 pages, basically saying nothing, and they raised 105 million.
After 4 weeks, they started just because they have big names. I don't know. Maybe it's also a bubble indicator that when people VC are throwing money at people just because they are people. But I mostly agree. I just want to say that I want to make the market more efficient, because it's or else if it's a rule that just the team gets the money because there are such and such people, then the discovery will fail. I mean, we still need ideas and MVPs,
yeah.
prototypes.
Yeah,
Demo.
absolutely. There's a balance to be struck here, but
yeah,
I personally would take a team that understands the market with no MVP to an MVP that doesn't understand the market, no knowledge of the team, like at any time. And like an MVP is a really compelling thing to have on top of a team that gets it. Like, we had this problem so bad, we built this thing to solve it. Those tend to be the teams that find success the fastest, even if it's not the product that they show you at that time.
Yeah, I said that I mostly agree. I just wanted to put the needle instead of 100%, like 95% on the team and 5% of something concrete.
But storytelling really matters when I was learning how to be a better public speaker, I learned there's a magic set of words you can use to recapture any audience that you're losing, which is to say, let me tell you a story. We're wired to hear stories. And so if you tell a compelling story along your startup idea, you basically draw the audience along whether they want to be or not. And if they want to be cold and analytical, they actually have to fight against what their brain wants to do, which is listen to the great story you're telling. So being able to tell that story of the user journey and your experience and is a huge tool. Of course, it has to be tied to something real. And it's not about the names being famous. Famous names get money, but unknown names that understand their problem also get money.
Yeah, I think a good example of this great tool is Adam Newman. Thank you for having used that word, because then I can use the tool word in many different with many different meanings. Everyone can decide what the tool is referring to. But he had a valid product, a valid business. Like WeWork, it's a real business. It works, but his ability of getting people involved in a story that he was talking about, and really sharing a huge vision that was bigger than the product itself, basically 10x the evaluation of the company to some investors. So especially when you're not talking to the public markets, but you're talking to VCs, basically means you just need to convince one person in order to do the deal instead of the whole market. So it's a bit of a cheat code. I also think that one area where VCs sometimes fail is understand what's the range of the founders you are talking to. I believe this is also something that Ethan used to say in his videos, and it's something you're going to find on, I think, a lot of Amazon, let's say, Amazon-born books. I think I read it also in Raising the Bar, which is an amazing book talking about the culture at Amazon. You have people that bring a company from 10 to 100, people that bring a company from 0 to 50, and people that bring the company from 20 to 85. And what happens a lot of times in the startup world is you just created an MVP for your company, and you decide you're going to hire a consultant from BCG or McKinsey because they have a huge name, and they're just not in the right stage. They are there to bring a company from 50 to 100, and you need someone to bring you from 5 to 15. A lot of companies hire head of growth before they reach product market fit, and it doesn't work. So I think VC sometimes also see this person was a machine learning manager at Meta. They must know how to do this. It's a very different job to manage a machine learning team in a $1 trillion company than to actually be the founder of something new. So I think sometimes this is missed in the process. But yeah.
And just one thing that I wanted to tell you, Eden, I was trying to tell you before, but then I realized that I needed to fix stuff and I could not tell you and at the same time fix stuff. Someone was telling you about the situation of Airbnbs in Italy. Just to make sure, just to be clear, you're gonna be fine. It's just a situation that we have in Italy where Airbnbs are more than houses that are rented out for students. And for owners, it's easier to just have an Airbnb. So we are lacking of houses, and or students have to pay crazy amounts of money to get an apartment, while there's a lot of way too many Airbnbs. But you should be fine, especially if you're on the beaches.
Well, I'm not worried about it.
Yeah, okay.
I was just curious. In my coaching business, I coach somebody who works at Airbnb, so it's always interesting to see everyone wants to regulate their business for exactly that problem.
Yeah.
Local rent.
Yeah.
There is actually a Science Versus episode that I didn't listen to, but I heard people talking about it, which is about the increase of real estate overall cost as rental if you want to purchase the house. And I think that they talk about Airbnb, and they estimated that the increase in price driven by Airbnb was like 15-20%. It's a very hard thing to solve and to answer, but like only 1/5 of that increase supposedly comes from that, and then there are a lot of other factors. Yeah, it's a complicated thing, but Science Versus I trust as a source usually. I think it's a good listen for everyone, and I also think that we have a perfect timing with all of these small talks, because before we also
transition. We set this up. We planned it hours ago.
Exactly.
No.
It's all planned because the next startup is going to be in the real estate market. And I think we can all start giving a very warm welcome to Alessandro, which will tell us about Tegel, your share of real estate.
Hello, Alessandro. Hi. Welcome in.
Hello everyone. Thanks for having us this evening. So good evening to everybody also online that are following you and during this live. So
I'm very happy to be here. Are you
let
ready?
me.
Are you ready to present?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Should I give you
I'm
your just one thing, judges? Do you need any time, like water or anything breaks? I'm trying to like make sure that you're comfortable enough. Like don't remember you have to hydrate it. You're not a cactus.
Who cares about us? We're the judges.
Oh, okay. You're okay.
I have a 3 liters water bottle.
Okay. Okay, good to know. Good to know. Okay, then I'll let you have your space, Ale. Right here. There you go.
Do you confirm? Do you see the screen properly?
Yep.
Yes.
Okay. I'm Alessandro Angelini, CEO and co-founder at Tegel. You know, 85% of millennials and Gen Zers want to invest in real estate, but 70% of them can't afford it due to the high initial capital required, which also remains blocked in the properties, and expensive and time-consuming property management. But what if we could start investing in real estate starting for asking a block capital and management? Well, this is possible solution. Tegel is a platform for investing in shares of rental properties. With fractional ownership, anyone can build a real estate portfolio from a small and untied capital. But how does Tegel work? Tegel buys the property and gets it energy efficient. Property shares are then listed on the platform, and while users buy the shares and start receiving their passive income, Tegel uses the cash flow to buy the next property, and the process repeats itself. So for each property, we earn in 3 different stages. A 15% margin of the property value when shares are sold on the platform, an additional 8% property management fee per year, and a 10% margin of the property appreciation if the property is sold. The real estate crowdfunding market is growing fast at a CAGR of 46%, and we aim to reach 1% of the market thanks to our unique positioning. In fact, people can invest in real estate through real estate crowdfunding platforms that are affordable, but are they really investing in real estate? Actually not. They are just lending their money to third-party companies. They can also invest in REITs, for example. But if you want to invest in real estate, you certainly don't want to have a correlation with the stock market. Or they can buy entire properties, but this process is extremely expensive. With Tegel, people can enjoy their steady passive income like a true real estate investment, but a fraction of the price. We expect the beta testing to be by October 2023 and buy the first property in November. We also expect to get the authorization by the Bank of Italy in 2024, and in order to launch in March 2024, we are asking for 400,000 euros, mainly for property purchase and marketing, in exchange for 18% equity. In 1 month, through our website, we reach more than 400 unique users with a conversion rate of 16% and a potential investment declared of 150,000 euros. We are a multidisciplinary team. Me, Alessandro, as the CEO. I'm a former BNL with a master's degree in business management, and I'm a real estate enthusiast. Alessio, our CTO, is a computer engineer with more than 7 years of work experience in big tech companies. Luigia, our COO, she's a legal officer in an investment fund, and Vincenzo, our CPO, is a software engineer and a blockchain expert. So this is Tegel. Thanks for your attention, and let's keep in touch.
Nice.
All
This
right.
has been way less than the time that was given. You still had like more than 1 minute and 40 seconds, but I guess we all appreciate like synthesis, especially at the end. Like, I'm sorry that you were the very last one, sir. Like, if you are in Italy too, it must be late for you too. So I guess that's a favor, like a plus point for sure.
Actually, it's not a problem because we just finished our demo day. Today we had the demo day of the incubator we were in, so it's the time slot is not a problem. So
You came trained. I think we can use the extra time to hear Giorgio's thoughts because this is his playground. I saw him with some question marks on top of his head.
Too many questions. I wouldn't know where to start, and I don't want to be that mean. First, what about REIT, real estate investment trust? So if people want to invest in real estate, they can invest in. They already have a way to invest with a small capital. Then
yes,
I see a lot of places where you earn money. I mean, who's losing money? So it seems you are a very expensive intermediary. And third, I mean that's just mean. You say the CTO has experience in big tech. I just went on LinkedIn page. It's only small companies in Rome, apparently. But that's just mean. I never said that.
Okay, so I can let's start with the rates. Of course, people can invest in rates with a small amount of money, but first of all, most of the time you cannot choose where you are putting your money in terms of properties. They are usually not transparent, and they are also affected by a correlation with the stock market. So also if we think about diversification, usually, especially in Italy, we tend to invest in real estate for its market stability. So this is the reason why people should invest in Tegel rather than rates, because they Tegel investments are linked to the real estate market trends instead of being affected by the stock market.
Tegel investments will be one unit with the capital you're raising, so it's not like I'm buying 50 properties.
Of course, that's the main. We know that it is a capital-intensive startup, but since we are an equity-based startup, the cash flow we generate from the first property in that case, we use that cash flow to buy the next property. As I said, the process repeats itself, so we are able to maintain the investment process by without raising additional money, because it's the cash flow that derives from our first raising.
I mean, the cash flow out of a 400,000 euros property won't even pay your salaries.
Yeah.
How can you? I mean, you need more capital.
Yeah, we know that.
Let alone all the like ways to create more value, so to make it energy efficient, which is also as costs. I assume. Yeah, I mean, those are my thoughts. Sorry if I've been rude, but those are.
That's in this stage. Let's go deeper. We have a 1 year buffer. We are able to work full time in Tegel for 1 year without receive salary. That's the reason why we decided to not put salaries in our funding percentage, let's say. And it is also the reason why we are able to maintain the cash flow only to buy properties. But of course, in the long term, this is not sustainable. I totally agree with you.
I mean, I think that founder salaries is going to be the last of any startup concern for the first 5 to 10 years. Even if you start paying yourself a salary, like that shouldn't be even close to the biggest expense you have. I agree with Giorgio on the comments. One, the funding raise seems too small. All the real estate heavy startups raised a lot of money. We talked about Adam Newman before. His new real estate startup raised 350 million. They didn't even get started. So of course you need to have the pedigree to do something like that. And I'm also questioning how that happened. But yeah, so that was the big thing, the biggest concern for me. And on the other side, I would also be careful to say that rates are actually stock market downfall and rates downfall are like caused. There is causality relationship there, because I think it might be, if you see a pattern, which I like to see already, but let's say that there is a pattern, it might just be correlation, because we saw that when interest rates go high, stock market then goes down, and also the real estate market tends to go down because the prices of houses basically increases for people that want to purchase a house. So I wouldn't be really sure about this overall connection between the value of rates and the stock market. I think that, disclaimer, I am probably going to advise a company that does something a bit similar to what you do, but I was way more excited about what they presented me because there was a higher connection with the value proposition of doing something like this. I hope I'm not selling out their business idea, but I don't think it's anything new. If I am buying a property as a fractional owner, then to me the appeal is the fact that I can use that property, is the fact that I can go there on vacation with my family, but I don't have to pay the whole amount, and I know that it's mine. And maybe I can split the cost with other 4 people that want to go to the Algarve in Portugal every summer and vacation there. So I go in July, they go in August, they go in September. I know that we can put it in Airbnb and maybe reduce a bit the costs. So I think this is what I'm missing from you. Like what I'm hearing is a less diversified investment vehicle for real estate for people that probably should not be investing in something so dangerous if they don't have enough money to invest in it in the first place. And I'm not seeing this added value proposition. They also have a lot of other ideas on how to make it even more valuable, creating network effect between different houses. But yeah, I'm not gonna spoil the whole business model away.
I know what you're talking about. There are a lot of options, especially in the US, that allow people to invest in shares of properties and actually let them use that property, especially for vacation purposes. We are targeting especially big Italian cities, university cities. Just because you were talking about rents, etc., before I start pitching, as you said, usually when interest rates goes up, also as for the stock market, also the real estate market tends to go down, let's say. But what happened is that as interest rates goes up, also home affordability is reduced. So the rents goes up in terms of monthly payment. And this is what's happening right now, for example, in Italy and in other countries. So it means that we are able to buy properties with less amount of money, and at the same time offer to our user high returns due to the fact that rents goes up in this scenario. Yeah.
But if what you're saying is true, then you're just saying that rates don't correlate with the stock market, because
no,
then
I believe maybe Giorgio can also add something more about this. There's always a correlation between rates and the stock market.
Kind also between real estate and stock market. Anyway, when there is a market crash, it's hardly like true that properties go up in price. So I think the correlation is it's also between just pure real estate and stock market.
Okay.
So I'm going to go the two people have basically bagged on this idea, and I was the mean one earlier, so I'm going to be the cheerleader this time. You do need a lot of funding. I don't see any way around that. Bootstrapping with no money, that isn't going to work. You got to go find your 100 million. Huge problem. I'll leave that aside. The basic idea of allowing people to buy fractional shares in specific homes that they appeal, it doesn't matter. Somebody in chat was saying, oh, people aren't good at picking investments. Who the fuck cares? He doesn't care. He wants their money in his house. It doesn't matter if they're good at picking it. It matters if his company is good at picking it. And then he can make those properties look appealing so that people buy little pieces of their dream. I can't afford a $2 million beach house in Mallorca, but here is one I can own 2% of and imagine that one day I can buy it, which is some hope you should offer them, by the way. That there's some rule where some big roller can come in and buy out your property at some future price and buy up the shares of others. They can feel like they're running a monopoly board and slowly acquiring this dream property. You want to hear what we're going to do is we're going to prey on people's hopes and dreams to get investment into your money, into your properties, but then we're actually going to give them a return. But it's about letting them envision themselves as real estate moguls with their little fractional shares, and people will get invested then. And as long as you run an effective, ethical business, you can let people be excited. And by the way, this is totally a case where somewhere in your pitch, you had the evil, useless word blockchain. This is the one place I've seen in 2023 where saying blockchain is going to help you, because the same people who thought they were going to get rich on blockchain are now going to think they're going to get rich on fractional properties in Italian cities. It's perfect. But the bottom line is there is real potential here to let people do this. But it's about marketing the dream, marketing the fractional ownership, marketing the fact that I can go live there, or in theory, I could go live there, or I can go visit, or I can go see my actual property. It's about the dream. You're selling a dream as well as an investment. Go sell the dream.
Thanks for this feedback. I really appreciate it. I just want to say something about blockchain. Of course, we are thinking about how to implement blockchain in our model. The fact is that Italian and regulation does not help us because it's not implemented yet. So it's really hard for us to build a model based on blockchain real asset tokenization. That's the real problem. But we hope that in the medium term we can implement blockchain on this. That's the reason why
blockchain's not useful to you. I was bullshitting you. My point is all the crypto heads who've lost their shirt on Ethereum need a new thing to chase, and you can give them the new thing where they think they're going to get rich. Blockchain itself has no relevance whatsoever to your business. Don't think it does. What it has relevance is people with crypto money need a new place to put it where they can dream big, and you can be that place. Go ahead, Theo.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, why put your money on imaginary dogs and apes when you can put your money on real houses you could potentially own? Work towards your future, not towards Web3 or some shit. Like, just
don't own some fucking IFT or whatever. Own a house in Italy. So much better. Don't own this cloned image that like someone told you is tied to a blockchain. Own a real house you can take a picture of and send your aunt to visit.
Wait a second. There are a lot of like €1 houses in Sicily and that go viral all the time, right? So with 400K, maybe you can buy
400,000 of them, the entire Sicily.
And then it makes sense the size of the fundraise. You have money to fix them up.
Actually, not as easy as it looks.
No, of course not. That's the last. Maybe buy one of those. That could be like one of your properties, as you know. But
you make a case study about it. But yeah, I think here, yeah, sure. Like regardless of the quality of the investment, I think the point is the value of letting people invest in a specific house is the house itself and the experience that comes with the house. And that's what I missed in your pitch.
Emotional appeal. 100%.
Anyway, no, but I also missed any way of using that specific house for the person. So if I am investing to get more money, I'm not going to invest in something like this. If I'm investing because I want to go to Italy and I want to feel like in an Italian movie from the 60s every year, then I will invest in something that allows me to go there every month without having to pick an Airbnb all the time, which also is a reason why some people buy Airbnbs, by the way. The appeal is you buy this house, you Airbnb it 11 months of the year, and then every year you can go there for a month, or whenever you have a party, you can book the day for yourself and go there. So it is, I think, really important to give people the option to book days to go there, maybe based on how much of the house they own, schedule in the calendar some time. I think that is where the value is, not in the return that you're going to get from the investment.
And they're less likely to trash their own house. And they're more likely to tell all their friends they're going to do the marketing for the house.
True.
Go stay at my house in Italy.
Yeah.
It like the play here is the fractional Airbnb play. That is your whole pitch. Fractional Airbnb. Just stop talking, say that, and raise money on it. Because Airbnb is established and people understand fractional.
So it's the Uber of Airbnbs now.
It is 100%. But this one works.
So now the question is, why Italy, and who are the competitors? That's also something that I think I was missing. I mean, I saw some competitors, but I think it was a typical thing of startups where you just list random companies and you are on the top axis. And like I saw Mama Crowd in there, which does equity crowdfunding for startups. So.
Exactly. So let's talk about competitors. Why Italy? We are targeting the Italian market first because we know the Italian market. We are Italian, so we know the Italian market. And that's the main reason. The fact is that according to the EU regulation, once we are authorized by the Bank of Italy, we are allowed to operate on a European scale. So Italian just at the beginning. Once we are authorized, we can operate at European level. So of course we intend to go abroad. The fact that we choose the Italian market at the first place is that because we are Italians. As Italians, we know this market better.
But your final customer in your vision right now, the first final customers are also going to be Italian?
Yeah. Yes.
But I feel like that could be a problem. This is just my gut feeling. But yeah, I think it's way more appealing for a US citizen to buy the fractional house in Italy, or let's say people from Norway, from Sweden, people that maybe have a harder time going to a paradise beach in the south of Italy, or going to that nice house. And also, yeah, I think people investing in this are still going to have some money. It's not going to be people that are broke. And we have a lot the culture of real estate, but I don't know. I'm just not sure the cultural fit is there. And maybe people that have the money already have a second house. That's my one feeling. I would look deeper into, are really Italians the best target customer for this?
Okay, in terms of customer, of course, if you think about a different business model, if we want to let people enjoy not the steady passive income, so the property as an investment, but the property as a place to spend the vacation. Of course, the Italian customer is not the ideal customer, of course. Well, in terms of competitors, I can pick the competitor slide too. Okay, so we put the real estate crowdfunding platforms, Mama Crowd, for example. The main difference between real estate crowdfunding platform and Tegel is that real estate crowdfunding platform are just intermediaries. So as I said, their users simply lend their money to third-party companies that actually invest in real estate and are looking for capital. So that's the main difference. While Tegel buys the property and
yeah. No, my point was that there are companies doing exactly what you do, buying the properties, and so I would put them on the slide, and I would be open about it, because to an investor that just seems like you're omitting something, hoping that you get away with murder, and the moment they find out, then they're gonna be pissed. And these are not even small companies, right? Someone shared a company I didn't know about, Timeshare, in chat, which is clearly well established and is doing something similar with the dream part that we talked about.
Exactly.
Maybe not in Italy, right?
That's the point. There is Inrento, which is a Lithuanian-based startup. They do what we do. Basically, they allow people to invest in shares of property or in shares of properties, but they uses the intermediary model as well. So that's the difference. Actually, in Europe, there are no competitors that buy and own like a fund, like a normal fund, own the asset under management. There are other companies that do the what we want to do, but they are based in the US. I can list you, for example, Finter, Lofty AI.
Yeah, but that's great. I mean, put it on a better competitor slide when it's not just affordable and passive income, and tell me there are companies doing this and they are successful, but they're in the US. That's great, because then I know that maybe that there is a moat coming to the EU and they can come in and buy you instead of building their own business there, for example. Right? I don't know how much regulation is to be had, but
we did not put them in the slide on purpose because we don't treat them as competitors for geographic reasons, basically. But they exist. So I agree with you that one of the main questions that we received is this business model already tested? There's something that's working. And actually, this business model exists. It exists in the US, not in Europe yet. So,
all right. Is there any other judge who has some feedback, some questions for Alessandro and Tego? Are we all good? Okay. If we covered all of it, I think we had enough time. Alessandro, if you want to share the last few seconds something, and then I think we can leave you and ask chat for the vote, for the final vote of tonight.
Giorgio at the beginning just asked me 3 questions. I think that I replied just to the first one. I'm not sure, but I think I replied to just on the rates question. So George, if you, I remember the CTO question that I said, yes, more than 7 years of work experience.
Okay.
Actually,
I think the second question is probably about the the amount of money. I don't remember. Sorry.
I think
maybe it was. Okay.
Sorry, I was just gonna say that actually I think both Theo, Ethan, they have a hard stop soon in 10 minutes. Okay. So maybe we can start wrapping it up. Sorry, Alessandro, but I think most of the questions were kind of answered. So we can just do the announcement all together based on the chat votes, and then.
All right. So thank you, Alessandro, and then I'll see you later, I guess.
Thanks a lot.
Bye. Bye-bye.
Bye. Bye-bye.
All right, chat. It's your last time, chat, to vote. The very last time for you to actually choose who's gonna be the winner of tonight. Because as in every big great shows, you're gonna decide who's gonna be like the final winner. We do have the votes from the judges, who I should already have prepared. If I'm not wrong, let me find them back. And where did I lose them? Okay. Then I guess judges, you got a lot of especially for Tio and Ethan, you got a lot of Italian startuppers, and I know that you've been you also are in general in the world of startups. Did you see any specific difference between outside Italian, non-Italians startuppers and Italian startuppers? Maybe in the way of how we approach a problem or anything like that. Did you see anything?
The valuations were lower.
That's funny.
I was actually gonna ask. I think the only real valuation we got, maybe not the only one, but Dealer Road was 7 million.
No, it was 700,000. I thought
700,000 euros. Yeah.
No, that's the round. But he mentioned 10%. I don't know if it's pre-money.
Yeah, I thought he wanted to raise 70,000 euros.
Yes.
Oh wow.
Like that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Then yes, that makes things very different. Okay.
Yeah, that's why
we're not very
the
ambitious.
numbers are much lower than I expected.
In US, they don't know how to count that low. So I mean, they start from.
Yeah, it's is that a number of millions?
Yeah, I think also first-time founders don't really know how hard it is to fundraise, and they don't understand that 70,000 is probably the amount of work that they'll need to put in terms of pay per hour just to raise the fund. So yeah, it's maybe
We should have a name for a unicorn, but not for $1 billion worth company, but $1 million. It's like a
mule,
a baby pony,
a baby pony. Yeah.
A brony? No, that isn't right.
Finally, I reached my company reached the value
stage.
of a pony. Only Italian companies.
So
all right.
I didn't see any other differences. I mean, it's obvious that the people here on Twitch Tank today are doing their first startups in general. They're very early in their careers. They're trying to figure it out. There's nothing wrong with that, but they don't yet have down a pitch to really go big. They're all trying to raise money for what they hope they can get, not what they need. That was the fundamental mistake for each of them is they're like, ooh, if I price my raise really low, maybe somebody will give it to me, as opposed to I have a credible business plan and unfortunately it's going to cost $10 million.
No.
Yep.
So.
Yeah.
I feel like I see so many businesses that are building their business around their raise rather than building their raise around their business. Like the business plan comes first, and the amount of money you need should be a footnote of that plan.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think there is another thing that I define as very American. I think I read it in the book of the BlackRock CEO. And it was fighting for a very a huge dream is not that much more time consuming, is not that much harder than fighting for a smaller dream. So sometimes you'll spend 80% of the energy you used to get to $1 billion raising $1 million. At that point, you might just go all the way and put all the effort you can to raise a bigger round. The other thing I would have liked to see more is more data, more information, more MVPs. I think that a lot of these startups could have had some customer proof of concept, sale or pre-sale agreement. So yeah, that part I was also missing a little bit. The last two were a bit better in that sense, but
yes,
no.
I think it's time
that said, starting your own company is incredibly hard, and the fact that these 4 sets of people were working on it and doing it deserves respect. It's very hard to step out and build your own thing. It's scary. Most people fail, so.
All right. And I think we are almost ready for the announcement. I see someone putting in chat putting in the spreadsheet the last vote.
We are missing the chat votes for the last.
Yes, we have I have my very nice and lovely mods that I love you very much. I'm gonna give you a raise. I'm gonna give you double of what I'm giving you right now, which is 0. Anyway, that are like actually filling up the entire spreadsheet right now. And we're gonna be very soon know who is the final winner of the very first round of Twitch Tank. And then we can finally know who is gonna be getting all the fame and glory from chat and claps and hearts and all of that. But first of all, before like getting the final answer, I wanted to thank you again for all of your time. I know we also got a little bit over the time right now. We were supposed to end like 10 minutes ago, so I really appreciate you for taking all of this time to be here.
Tank.
And classic Italian too, I would also say a little bit. Let's put a little bit of the Italian part there. Like I don't know, you never. It's not our fault, let's say. But I really appreciate you again for taking the time of being here and like giving tips for all of these people that are like actually young people having like new ideas and like building up the new cool things of the future. I don't know, we will see. But thank you again. Right, I think we have the final one. Tommaso, do you want to have the honors?
Yeah, sure. I do know that both Ethan and Theo have a hard stop, so if you need to drop now, maybe you can do the final remarks. I don't want for you to be late to your next meeting. You already gave us so much of your time. Well,
I don't know what final remarks you're looking for, but basically, I think the best overall, my winner in the end for best pitch and best prepared was Dealer Room. My idea that I believe, even though having seen some of the voting, it's not going to do as well, I actually think Tegel with modifications has the most potential. As presented, it's going nowhere, but with modifications, it could. And yeah, with that, I do have to go. So thank you all. It's been fun.
It's been lovely.
Totally love this audience working on it. Great audience. The mods had to slap down very few trolls. So maybe the other difference I see is less trolls in Italy. I don't know. Maybe it's not true, but less trolls here anyway.
I see more trolls in YC chat.
Because we're speaking English, so people don't understand it.
Oh, that's the troll filter. We're filtering out. Got it.
Thank you so much again, Ethan. Thank you for participating in this.
Thank you, Ethan.
Cheers,
it was
everyone.
lovely having you here. Bye. Theo, same for you. If you want to give your final remarks, if you want to give us like who was your favorite ones, who would you like to like ideally invest in?
Yeah, I for what it's worth, I only really invest in tech side of stuff because I come from the software dev world, and that tends to be like where my focus is. I'm a Scale with A16, so it's very much dev tool stuff. But that doesn't mean the companies today weren't super interesting and exciting. I was really hyped to see basically everything people presented. I definitely personally resonated the most with what the crew was doing over, I'm so bad with names, Reacts, the AI startup focused on the streaming side of things. I think their story resonated the most with me. And as I've hinted at throughout, storytelling is one of the most important parts for really early stage stuff. And I feel like all of these companies have a story to tell, and I encourage them all to push that as part of their pitch. Like, sell us on you, not just your idea. And I hope everybody in the audience as well takes a strong learning from that too. It's very important to sell yourself and your story just as much so as the company and the numbers.
Oh, thank you. Thank you for participating in this. If you have to run away for your next meeting, you're off. You know, no need to like feel bad about it, for real.
I do need to run. I appreciate all of y'all. I gave you admin for the room study, so if you need it for anything, you should be good. I will be around. Just DM me on Discord if you need something. Thank you guys as always.
Thank you, team.
Bye, Theo. Thank you.
All right. So only the people that are doing this at midnight have the time to stay. But yeah, it was really great to see also the perspective of Ethan and Theo. And we have been doing this a few times with Giorgio in Italian, and I think it's nice.
It's 11 p.m. Where you are. Do not cheat. It's not midnight. Come on.
Yeah. I have an advantage. But yeah, so it was really good to see and to do this in English. Maybe next time, if more English speaker also want to apply, or people from all over the EU, that will also be a good way of seeing the difference in approach from different countries. But I do think that we can go ahead and talk about the winner. We do see a trend. We saw it also in the previous episodes. There are two companies that are a little bit more down, so still on the podium, at least one of them. But they are lagging a bit behind, and then two other startups that are really in a close fight. So we can say that actually the first and last startup to present. So one was Joy with Go Healthy, Go Healthy or Go Health. Go Healthy. And Tegel are third and fourth position. We are not going to share who's where.
They're both third.
Exactly. This is the Schrödinger podium. And I think from what we have seen, they were the startups that maybe had a less refined idea. So it's completely normal that they end up there. It seems like also the Twitch chat sentiment was pretty much in line with this. They need to work on it, refine it a little bit better, and in terms of presentation and idea. While the two, let's say the two that are fighting for the win are Dealer Road and let's see, these names are indeed hard to remember.
Reacts.
That to me sounds like React. I feel like a lot of front-end developers are going to have a hard time. And I mean, Julia, do you want to make the announcement? This is your channel after all. I can do the
drum roll.
I was playing the drum roll actually, and I thought you were going to say it. I was like, oh, it's perfect. It's timed perfectly. No, it didn't.
Because we don't hear it.
I know, but I thought you were going to say so. I was like, oh, this is perfect.
Anyway. Right. Then this didn't happen. Let's roll it again. Tell me when you're ready.
Ready?
All right. And the winner of the first edition of Twitch Tank on the Study Time channel is Dealer Road.
Congratulations.
Dealer Road, congrats. I promise next time I'm going to try to have the drum roll in a better way. Maybe I can screen share it so you can also hear it, but...
I feel like I missed the time.
Sorry.
Yes, it was a close fight between Dealer Road and Reacts. But I feel like maybe they were the ones that came in with the more clear vision. They already had an MVP. They already had users. I love the connection to the market that Reacts had. Personally, I think they're also going to do great. And they are both companies where, I would see myself, and I would see also a lot of other people in the chat. Maybe
I think is Leo Placanica is in the chat.
Yeah.
I think he's the Dealer Road. So you
nice.
won.
Congrats, Leo. You won the hearts and claps from chat. Let's go.
Yes, and the discounts from rapido.fyi. So I'll text you on LinkedIn.
Thank you for that,
to let you know.
Yeah,
of course, it's. So congrats.
Chad, can I please also have, apart from a huge thanks for all the ones that participated to this, that actually put out, like they applied, they waited for the answers, and then they joined in, and then they presented all of their pitches. Can I also have a beautiful thank you for Mr. Rip and Tommaso who helped us out? Like, actually, we just stole the format and we just made it in English. Just letting you know. So let's thank them for allowing us to have this and to give us this beautiful idea and to put all of this together. I really appreciate you for this. This is...
spoiler, it's not our original idea, but we saw something similar on TV. But maybe they copied us. I don't know.
For sure. Well, thank you so much for being part of this, and also for you to take the time to doing all of this. And Tommaso, again, a huge thank you for helping me out with contacting the companies, finding startups, and all of that. I appreciate you, both of you, really.
Yeah. And for people asking in chat, the VOD will be available on Giorgio's channel, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And if anyone is interested
everybody, I think.
And if anyone is interested in sponsoring this, offering better deals to the startups that win, getting exposure to this audience of very interested and driven people, then also you can reach out, and we'll love to to
Yes,
speak.
we love sponsors. We really do. We really do.
Maybe we should use the Reacts to get some.
Oh yeah, we should. We should definitely. Well, thank you so much. I'm gonna let you go for the rest of the evening. Chat, remember to follow all of our judges that we had on stream. Mr. Rip, Tommaso also on Twitch, maybe soon. I don't know.
No, I don't think
He
so.
quit. He quit.
No. Okay. Then Mr. Rip and Theo
On YouTube.
are on YouTube. All right, perfect. And thank you so much for participating again. Have a beautiful night.
Thank you for all the technical nightmares you had to work out.
It's nothing.
Must have been tough.
Completely nothing compared to what I usually have to deal with. Like right now, I'm skilled with this tech stuff.
All right. Thank you everyone in chat as well for supporting us.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye. Bye.